it's the real deal. I think it's like it's for sure.
You just have like Force Will in your deck too? Go up.
Force of Will, it's Delver. It's Days Wasteland, Force of Will.
But with those new threats?
Yeah, dude, they snowball so out of control.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
Does everything sound okay, chat? Can someone give me a thumbs up?
And then him complaining. I said that on stream, Chris.
Dude, damn. Okay, I didn't think about playing it in like a Delver strategy. Because I mean, Johnny on 2 just pretty good.
Yeah, Cat and Johnny.
Okay. My bad, everybody. I had the names on the wrong side of the screen. It was backwards in the notes. Let's correct it. John Lee on the left with Reanimator, and on the right we have Bill with Esper.
Alrighty then. No plus you draw.
Yeah.
Keep.
Go ahead.
All right, that was a Ponder resolving for John on turn 1, and a fetch on end step for Bill. Maybe we're going to see a Surveil. It'll be Undercity Sewers, Surveil.
Lotus Pedal. And it's your go.
You just shut him off from playing a painter.
Maybe I'm playing goblins.
I don't think I've ever seen a painter mirror at this store or at Game Store.
That's so funny.
You know what he's got, you jam it.
All right, Surveil happening. It'll put a Brazen Borrower into the graveyard, and Bill will take turn 2 now. Let's see what Bill has. Bill's been doing really well with his Esper deck recently. If you've been hanging out in our Discord, you were aware that Bill top-8'd a Legacy 5K or something in at SEG Baltimore. Gizlo in the chat asking, is this Jafar John? Yeah, that might be one of John's new nicknames. We'll see. Here's Psychic Frog, a card that's on everyone's mind. People either love it or hate it at this point, I think, is the best way I would put the situation. Do we have any frog haters in the chat? Does anyone want to come forward and say that they hate the frog?
Sorry, I'll keep.
Black.
Dude, he's sicko. I'll keep 18.
Cool.
I'll drop swords.
All right, sounds like a Swords to Plowshares has been announced on this Psychic Frog. And Audrey in the chat calling for the frog to be banned. Force of Will pitching Brainstorm. Makes sense to protect the frog, one of the key creatures in Legacy right now, one of the most powerful creatures in Legacy right now, I think is easy for me to say with some certainty. Scopy in the chat says frog lover, and I'm happy this is my first message. A fine first message. Force of Negation to counter Force of Will, and it looks like the Psychic Frog will head into exile.
The saga. This is so stupid. Everything's black, everything is blue.
So we're both playing Bricks of Frog.
Yeah, we are.
Results.
Okay, somebody coughed in the background. We're going to assume that person was promptly kicked out of the event. Here's Lorien revealed getting island cycled.
So stupid.
For those of you that have not been in the same room with me yet or have not been to a Magic tournament that I've been present at yet, a cough is like an immediate ejection from the venue.
I have 2 in hand. You have 2 in hand as well?
I just can't handle it. Stop coughing, everybody.
Non-talking creature.
Shieldred's Edict. Another Psychic Frog down. Heavy on removal so far is Bill. Wasteland on the Underground Sea.
You have 2 cards.
2 cards. One of them is Tundra.
All right, a Swamp Cycle of Troll of Khazad-dûm. Swamp cycling and island cycling, I just don't know what they were thinking with those mechanics. Does anybody know?
Yeah.
All right, so dug up a basic swamp. Can't waste that. It's on the board. Bill will replay the Tundra, it looks like. Maybe slightly worried about protecting it from a wasteland, but it's been deployed officially. 2 cards in hand for Bill. I think John is holding 3 or 4. All right, end step in Tomb. What are we looking for? Maybe Atraxa, maybe Archon of Cruelty. Gristlebrand. What the hell? Okay. We put a Gristlebrand into the graveyard. Harry asking, is this 2022? Yeah, there's a chance John is bringing it back. There was a video posted this week in our VIP chat of our Discord. If you're not in our Discord, join the Discord. Of John, who's right-handed, playing a left-handed guitar, and it was it really was something. All right, double days on a Jace the Mind Sculptor. Jace the Mind Sculptor is countered, folks.
Wow.
Did you fuck up the app?
I know, really interesting stuff.
And then I'm gonna activate ground, so targeting you.
Cards? 3.
I also really
I don't think I've ever played a painter mirror, so.
Me neither.
Result.
Ooh, Orcish Bowmaster. Is that on the watch list in response to a brainstorm? It's getting Fatal Push, though. All right, Orc Army is in. The Bowmaster no longer is. Brainstorm safely resolves. Audrey says Jace the Mind Sculptor is still being played when Tameo just nullifies the ultimate. All right, all right.
I think if you brainstorm, you might just have 2 black mana anyways, so you can just do both.
Yeah. Put these 2 back.
Yeah?
Wasteland.
Yeah.
Wasteland on the Tundra. The Tundra finally falls victim. Back to Bill, who attacks with the 1/1 Orc Army. I believe John's now down to 18.
I'll get an island.
I know that I'm taking all my cards last side. And then I'm just putting all the other cards in, right?
A bit difficult to keep track of life totals, everybody. Doing my best.
Draw.
Yeah.
Oh! Ho ho ho! Draw?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bizarre game.
Yeah. 16. Super.
I willed that Bilbo Strix to the top.
You did. Pass you.
Belful Strix, everybody.
Attack 2.
14.
Go.
Don't sweat. You don't got any chance in this tournament.
Done?
No, there's nothing. It's like
The token is a 1/1 Orc Army, and Belful Strix attacking here, putting John down to 12.
Yeah.
Decent, right? You have all the power blasts.
you did fuck that up.
Sure, that's good.
That is an Undercity Sewer. Surveil.
I should have like that, yeah.
I should have hit the welder or held it. I'm gonna leave you guys alone. You're on your own, buddy. I'm out of here.
Yeah, Audrey very critical of the players playing on stream right now. Very friendly discussion happening. No life totals on a phone and lands in front. What a disaster.
I think else last time we were playing, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
This is like.
Try to reanimate.
It's good.
Reanimate on Gristlebrand. This time it will resolve.
Okay, 3.
Go ahead.
Tap. Keep. Draw. Draw's good, right?
Yeah.
Alright,
Oh shit, I fucked up. Yeah.
Imagine instinctively putting your features to the front.
I know.
Gross.
The nerve.
Gross. Rachel?
This one's
The players are messing with you people of the YouTube comments right now by putting the lance in front, by the way. Some of you just cannot handle it. And, yeah. Pew pew! thank you for the resub 16 months.
17-3.
Take it away.
Okay, some people are getting seasick. The table's getting bumped. The camera is moving. And Lousy. Maybe take a break, Lousy. Magic Ads, thank you for the gift sub. 72. Appreciate that. One of our best people.
Leave on top. Draw. Combat.
Yeah, remember when Reed Duke had the initiative dungeon on the phone? That was really something. I think that was a low point for 90s MTG.
Urza Saga. Pass turn.
Tap.
Go to blocks.
Okay, we're going to blocks. Crystalbrand will get a chance to block.
Yeah.
It's really like lots of cards. Alright. No block. Great.
Blocking the Orc army.
4 damage. Fire guy.
Swords and Gristlebrand before damage after it blocked the 1/1 Orc army.
Alright, I'm gonna get the low master. Oh, but I can summon. Yeah. It's 7.
So you gain 7.
All right, so John will end up at 9, it looks like, after combat.
Damage. And I'll take it.
Cool.
You don't have
Take
to.
over. Yeah.
Let's do it again.
Tap a beep. Trigger.
Triumph of St. Catherine will be miracled into play here. Haven't seen that card much recently. Attacking for 2.
Your return.
Yeah, I like summon.
Which end you're under city? Go ahead.
So it's on the stack.
Yeah.
Entomb in response to a Wasteland on Undercity Sewers. What are we putting on... What are we putting in the graveyard this time? Archon of Cruelty. Okay. Triumph of St. Catherine. 5/5 lifelinker. Pretty good. Undercity Sewers is down.
Here you go. Yep. I thought you were playing your cool blue black deck, not your scam deck. Taking advantage of scam in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, this is my cool blue black deck. I'm at 7. Yeah, you got it.
All right. 7 power on the other side of the board. Game 1 goes to Bill.
Keep put 1 back. Put this back. Go ahead.
All right, 1 card on the bottom for Bill, and John is on the play after dropping game 1. Underground Sea and Ponder.
So I was like, oh, I guess it's my turn to take a game action.
I'm so done.
Go.
Yeah, it seems like the blue-black decks, the scam decks of the current Legacy format are constantly adjusting their arrangement these days. Going back and forth on stuff like Voidwalkers, Bowmasters, the creatures that are going to be reanimated like Gristlebrand, Traxa, all that stuff. All right, here's Psychic Frog. We saw some early Psychic Frogs appear in game 1. They were promptly removed before they can attack. Let's see if Bill can do the same here in game 2.
That's
The threat of the frog is very real. If this thing hits you a few times, you get way behind on cards. Bill fetches up an underground seat. Fatal push on the frog. It's down.
I gotta solve.
You can go first. And I cannot do this. So I'm gonna shuffle.
Barrowgoyf. Seeing this card more and more in Legacy these days. It was maybe in the early days of the MH3 metagame overlooked a bit, but now it's settled in. See the Barrowgoyf pretty often now, and it is awesome. I really like this card. Force pitching to Ferry.
Alright, I'm in.
Go ahead. You fetch.
Does not have escape. That would be the Necrogoyf, so it's countered, and it's probably going to spend the rest of the game in the trash unless it can be reanimated. Although, most likely, if we're going to reanimate a creature out of the graveyard now, it would be the frog, I would say.
Floated black.
I'll go to that.
Before that.
Okay, Wasteland Underground Sea. And Cling to Dust.
I see. Is that clean to us?
Yeah.
Okay.
On the frog.
Oh, that'll resolve. Three?
Yeah. I'm at 21, and then you can go.
Oh, so I'll go to attacks.
Yep.
And then go to second main?
Yep.
I'll just pass after that.
Drop.
Yep.
Spike land. Oh, that's pretty good though.
Nile Spellbomb. I agree with Bill. That is pretty good. It'll shut off the reanimate stuff. But Bill has not been able to make another land drop.
Take 2.
Brainstorm response.
So,
Okay, a brainstorm in response to the Spellbomb. Maybe John will try to counter it. A daze could be good enough here, as you can see.
Fatal push.
We could kind of see in this, I mean, you know, this is just your average Legacy game, obviously, but the combination of Wasteland and Daze makes these tempo decks be able to apply quite a squeeze on decks that miss land drops. All right, here's another Psychic Frog. And it's a big part of the reason why these decks are always great in Legacy, from Delver to these Scaminator decks. All right, Petty Theft on the Nile Spellbomb.
you got a response.
Okay. And this will fizzle.
Yeah.
So this fizzles.
Okay. A activation of the Nile Spellbomb in response. That makes sense. And the Brazen Bower is countered. And yeah, Psychic Frog remains on the battlefield. It's going to start doing its thing. Pew Pew said, does Chris just say to ban Daze? No, I would not be for a Daze ban, personally.
Play this.
Sure.
I'll keep this one.
Okay, Undercity Sewer Surveil, leave the card on top. Another Psychic Frog. Game 2 going pretty well for John now. John way ahead in this game.
Attacks.
Yep. No lock.
Discard.
Okay.
I take 4.
Yep. 15.
Draw 2.
Yep.
In response, I'm gonna bolt it. In response to the second discard.
Animate Dead on Archon of Cruelty. It is in.
You discard.
Yeah.
Discarding Tameo, Inquisitive Scholar.
12. You're at 21.
Yeah. 100. Let's go to 4.
Yep.
I'm just gonna roll this out for another meter service. I'll blue again. And in return, I'll eat your whatever creatures you have any activated abilities.
This one.
It's going to be quite difficult for Bill to get back into this game. There's a Barrogoyf. All right, we are moving on to game 3. Game 2 goes really well for Just Guy John, as he's known. Moving on to game 3.
Sold my
Like,
super
oh, I took my whole hand.
Do you want Laura and foil?
No, the times are massive.
Foil?
Yeah, the times are massive.
4 of them was like $1,000.
Yeah.
I'll keep.
Frog is so good. You got it.
Okay, sounds like Bill has decided to keep 7. So has John. Turn 1 Ponder.
Right.
My land. Play pedal.
Okay, Wasteland. The card Wasteland continues to be super relevant, I guess. Polluted Delta. So Bill did find another land drop. I was worried for a fraction of a second there that Bill would just get wasted out of this game immediately, but we're good. We're okay. Ponder for John.
So good. Keep everything on top. So good.
I'm not sure the Jays are floating.
Okay, skipping an opportunity for an N-Step Surveil. Wasteland now on Underground Sea. The Wastelands are getting fired off. It looks like John drew another Wasteland. Nope, that was a Polluted Delta maybe. So both players with Polluted Deltas now. I'm pretty sure John is holding another copy of Wasteland. Will Bill make another land drop? He does. All right. So Tundra, pass the turn.
This is a really interesting decision. How many cards do you have?
6.
I'll fetch.
Sure.
19. Yep.
How interesting could Entomb be?
Huh?
Okay, Undercity Sewers, Surveil.
Entomb.
Oh, no, you're good. Yeah, that's fine.
Not Entomb yet. Do I even have Entomb? Did I even keep in the combo?
Of course you did.
No, I didn't.
No, I didn't.
You didn't see it last game.
All right, the players are having a lot of fun, as you can tell. Cutting the deck here, Surveil, and
You put Archons about. Did you Dark Ritual Archon? I don't think so.
Push in the yard.
Okay.
Fatal Push into the graveyard. Nothing to push right now. Looks like John holding a copy of Daze, drew an Animate Dead. Nothing in the graveyards that I'm aware of. No. No creatures in the graveyards.
How do I want to do this?
Just grief me, bro. Just grief me, bro.
Chili asking the right questions. Why are these players joking? Don't they know how serious this is? You know what, Chili? The thing is, some of these people just don't respect the game. Chili with a former Hype Train conductor and 2.5-year badge. Chili always hanging out with us. All right, there's a Wasteland. Kiviuk has arrived in the chat. Brainstorm.
Should have wasted some. I was holding.
One.
We still don't really know the truth, and we've been investigating it, but Just Guy John on the left side of your screen claims he plays Pauper, but there's like no evidence that has ever happened, and we're looking into it. We're looking into it.
All bangers.
Island cycle.
If anybody watching right now has ever seen John at a Pauper event, please let us know. We're just not really believing it at this point. All right, Lorien revealed getting Island cycled in Tomb.
But I don't want to tap out.
So, John taking advantage of the fact that Bill has tapped out here. Force of Will is going to get dazed. Undercity Sewers back to hand. And Entomb will resolve. Great play there by John. I mean, it's the subtle plays like that, knowing exactly when to cast that Entomb, that win games, really. Here, Gristlebrand into the trash. Lorien revealed will now resolve its island cycling ability. Holding a Daze in hand, waited for Bill to tap out, fired off Entomb with a Daze backup. Really nicely played. Something to take note of if you're still learning the Legacy format.
Pull so many decks together.
Oh, it's so fucking good.
Niels, thank you for the resub. 21 months for Niels. Appreciate that. This game is most likely going to be tight. Are we going to fire off this Wasteland on Underground Sea? We know Bill is holding Tundra, and it looks like 3 unknown cards.
I'll say go.
And you have 2 cards from that?
Okay, going to leave the lands alone. Sego. Gristlebrand in the yard. Thoughtseize. Okay. The hand is revealed. Reanimate. Undercity Sewer that we knew about. Animate Dead. Grief. Brainstorm. Daze.
Oh, wow, interesting. All right, let's take that off.
Okay, Reanimate is taken. Chartwin just gifted a sub. Thank you, Chartwin. Hello, Chartwin.
You have 3 cards? 3. Oh. Yeah. I think I have stuff over here. So, 4.
3 cards in Bill's hand. Misty Rainforest cracked, find an underground sea.
I'm gonna raw dog this. Even though I have this grief in my hand.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can't grieve, so.
Gristlebrand will enter.
Yep.
You have 3 cards?
3.
I assume.
I'm gonna go ahead.
You haven't used any forces yet. That's fine. Maybe you're
Down the
like
stack.
a buffer.
Yep. We're trying to sort.
Swords is good. I'll gain 6.
Yep.
So, go back to 17.
Yep.
Draw 7.
Okay, so in response to an activation of Gristlebrand, a Swords on Gristlebrand, John will draw the 7 cards after Gristlebrand is kicked out of the game and out of the match. Since this is game 3, we're going to see Grief here. Looks like an evoke happening with one of the newly drawn cards being pitched. Let's see what gets pitched here. Animate Dead. The hand is Swords, Force. Swords of Plowshare is taken. Force of Will remains. No blue card to pitch. John with a full grip. Might have to discard to hand size.
Yep.
It's definitely.
Discards the Undercity Sewer. And a Daze.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Niels with a question. Any Stifle not on the program tonight? Maybe.
3 cards in hand. Legislative Traders. That's fine.
I can't give that stuff away, folks. I can't tell everybody what the whole rest of the stream will be. It's got to be a surprise. Come on now.
Always yes.
Wasteland on Underground Sea. So cut off of black now is Bill, it seems.
Die.
Yes, reanimate grief.
It's good.
Yeah.
Okay, a Reanimate on Grief. Grief will enter. The hand is revealed. Force of Will, Polluted Delta. Force of Will gone.
That'll be fine.
You just play it. Play it.
I don't know if I've ever seen anybody lose after looking on the outside.
That's a decent.
That would be good, yeah.
Ponder now for John, who's ahead in this game, I would say, at this point. Could change, though.
This is another day.
Yeah. Drop. Go.
Yep.
Take it.
Yep.
13 all. Yep.
I haven't played sports.
I got a small.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, keeping track of life totals as best as I can. There's a Barrow Goyf.
Just be safe.
3 draws after came out for Woodstock, Brainstorm, Lorien.
Cards?
I have 1 card in there. It's the first dragon.
Yeah.
Snapcaster Mage. Wow.
I'm sorry, sword.
I'm just gonna die.
Targeting swords to plowshares. Most likely going to try and knock out Paraguay here.
Land.
How's your gear again?
Tap 3, that's 5 for runner. First dragon.
Just if you play, right? It doesn't matter if it's ETB.
It's
Oh,
ETB.
it's the ETB.
Yeah. You can't force. I wonder if there's an ability.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you go.
I'll go to
Turn. Discard.
I'll
nothing,
surgical your
draw
days.
3. You go to 2, 3, and then you go.
Surgical on days after swords has been targeted. Days on the surgical.
And then, well, you countered it, right? Oh, well, I chose
the same
not
deck
to.
last time we played,
Okay, I'll
right?
try to sword this.
Okay, so did not pay for the days, so surgical was countered. But now casting the swords, Paraguay will be exiled. They're giving a count on its power.
Creature, right?
Oh, no, creature, yeah. So it's in a sorcery land. It's in a sorcery land.
So you can force.
Wonder and brainstorm are
16, 10, go. So,
Grief continues to attack. It has menace. Was the menace mechanic a mistake? Starting to think that menace was a mistake. Bring back fear.
10 minutes.
14, 7, go.
You're fine.
Brazen Bower getting flashed in, so Bill running out of time quickly here. 6 power on the board.
Lucky.
This one?
Yeah. Dude.
Brainstorm resolves. No Bowmaster in response.
Bowmaster this anyways, but dude, you're crazy.
Sounds like Bill impressed with that that brainstorm being so brazen here. Grief pitching grief. Fatal push the last card in hand. It's gone.
Go.
Untap, upkeep.
Yeah.
Probably. Was that Terminus?
Yeah.
Completely worth it. Go ahead.
It's possible that a Bowmaster drawn here could stall John's victory. Entomb on end step. Archon of Cruelty into the trash. That obviously would be game winning if it can be reanimated.
You're drawing this. Alright.
Okay. So the card is drawn for turn. We're going to go to combat. Swing for 6. Basic planes revealed. That is the match. Handshake. GG's. And John had the enemy dead. Bill taking a look at it. Wow. Good games. Good games. 2 good players in a duel. Always a pleasure to watch. Our Discord is up on your screen. Join the Discord if you're not yet in the Discord, everybody. We have a Patreon. If you've been enjoying the live streams and want to take our relationship a little bit further, you can join us over on Patreon. Came up today in our Discord discussion. Let's see if I could quickly find that. How many patrons for 3 live streams every week? How many patrons? Does anybody have a take on that? How many patrons should we have before we do 3 live streams every week? Give me a number. -3. It's a good start. 1 stream per Patreon. That actually sounds like a horrible deal. 710 Magic getting more in the range here. 1,000. Can we get to 1,000 patrons? Yeah, some people will get stream fatigue. Don't forget, everybody, Magic players get fatigued very, very easily. They're like a very fragile species of person. All right, let's set up another poll for Twitch chat. Which match next? Twitch chat will vote. The options will be Death and Taxes versus Grixis Delver, or Eldrazi versus Rakdos Reanimator, I believe. Esper Control versus 4-color Control. Painter versus Grixis Delver, or Cephalid Breakfast versus Grixis Delver. 2 minutes to vote. Get your votes in. 710 says, I predict growth after ban announcement. You know, I've been doing, it's like over 4 years now I've been doing this channel. The bans and unbans don't really move the needle. It really has no huge noticeable effect on everything. Yeah, there's like subtle change, but I think people put a lot of weight on it, not realizing how little most people actually give a damn. All right, so poll is happening right now in the chat, about a minute and a half to vote. Harry is hoping for Eldrazi. The polls are usually rigged, and we'll see how this all comes together. Looks like not much rigging happening so far. Not much so far. Let's see what's going on in the Discord as we wait. What the heck is that? Wow. Some blue cards, I guess. Foil Brainstorm. Very nice. The Bling channel's getting lit up this week. Ooh, what's that card bottom center? I don't know that one. The Grim Captain's Locker. Wow. Keith Master Flex has arrived with some beautiful badges. Painter versus Grixis Delver is up next. 710 contributed 3,200 channel points. Let's do it. Thank you, 710. All right, diving in.
I have never seen before. I don't know if I'll bring it in. Probably not.
Well, you never know. We discussed about needling the frog. Could come up.
I might be able to revoke you.
It's true. It's true.
All right, Grixis Delver on the left. That would be Herman. And on the right, we have Eddie the Intern with Painter. Mono White Painter specifically. Eddie's signature deck. There are a lot of Painter fans out there that are aware of Eddie's existence and this now infamous Mono White Painter deck that has taken the world by storm. All right, players are doing the die roll. This is going to take a while.
All right, I'll take the play.
Sounds good.
All right, Eddie the Intern will be on the play. People are booing already in the chat. New Rocker hoping for a Painter win. Wow.
Yes.
Herman with white sleeves. That seems like a misplay right there. Ready to go, Plains Vile. It's getting force pitching days. Herman didn't even think about it.
Confident force of will.
Yeah, confident force of will for sure. Vile immediately countered. Delver.
Force of will, because it's still make my days at Force of will bad anyway.
Yes. Portable.
Portable Hole. That'll remove Delver of Secrets and Grindstone. That's in there. Yeah, Eddie the Intern, as you can see in the top center of your screen, playmat is signed. I'm not sure by who. Hope of Girapur comes in. Goblin Grandee says it's too noisy. Okay. Maybe turn the volume down, Goblin. Oswald Fiddlebender. Gonna be a fetch and response, possibly. Brainstorm and response.
It's gonna be rough. Summoning in for a long game.
2 cards left.
Could be anything.
So far, Twitch chat today is complaining a lot. The camera's moving, the audio's not perfect. We don't have a recording studio, folks. Everybody calm down. We need about 1,000 more Twitch subs.
You should have pitched the force of will to somebody else.
I pitched the Delver. No.
Everybody relax.
Then I just
Then
did.
my portable hole is doing nothing.
We're doing our best.
Next level. Next level.
This crappy jank setup we got. This low budget ass stream. Oh man.
No, I want to draw that card.
It's too shiny and it's too
That's that fetch.
different looking.
You gotta surveil.
Why isn't it perfect?
What I like about cards is you can put your spell in test.
Yeah, I think Harry's pointing it out. Everybody's on edge. Yeah. You should see what these people are tweeting and posting on Reddit, Harry. These people are out of their mind.
Not exactly.
I think Cephalid Spirit Guide would be a healthy addition.
Oh yeah,
Save
yeah.
for a bit.
Pitch out of blue. So yeah.
Yeah, it's already interesting in play. Okay.
Undercity Sewers, Surveil for Herman. Ponder into the trash. Psychic Frog looks like it was just drawn. 710, the only thing that is perfect is Chris. What a beautiful man. Thank you, 710. Appreciate that.
Blow up your ancient deck.
Wasteland on the Ancient Den down. Murktide. Is this card on the watch list? Can someone check the watch list for us? Pew Pew says we should audit Chris to see where our hard-earned sub money is going. Post the audited financials. Yeah, I'm getting audited right now. I can't be showing all that stuff at the moment. 6/6 Murktide is in.
We'll get an Aethersworn
Oh,
Canonist.
wasted with the trigger on this deck.
Sounds like Oswald Filmbender is turning Grindstone into Ether Sworn Canonist. Excuse me.
Oh, it calls me. Yeah.
Goblin Grandee, thank you for the sub. Appreciate that.
And my one spell is a frog.
Yeah, results.
Here is Psychic Frog.
You're good.
So he's a 2/3.
Yep, he'll do 3. Yep.
Okay.
Block with 3/4.
Yeah, every single dollar I make from Twitch subs goes into collector boosters.
Second dismiss.
Gotta keep going up. Gotta keep going up.
All right, sacking Ethersworn Canonist to Oswald Fiddlebender. Here's Crucible of Worlds. Oswald Fiddlebender and Crucible of Worlds. Some of Eddie's nasty tricks on display here. Ancient Den will be played from the graveyard. Ethersworn Canonist is in the graveyard.
That's a 4/5.
I'll cast a Grindstone.
Yep.
Pass.
Eddie drops a Grindstone on the board. Board a little bit confusing here. Ethersworn Canonist is in the graveyard. Okay, it's been corrected.
6, 7.
Can't quite get me.
Psychic Frog and Murktide available on Herman's side. 14 life for Eddie. The Frog and the Murktide can work together nicely. The Frog exiles cards from the graveyard, which grows the Murktide. Just a Ponder in the graveyard right now. Going to combat. Big attack coming in. Taking 7. Draw a card. If you just joined us, Delver of Secrets is trapped under Portable Hole. Ponder for Herman.
Instead of shooting, just makes more
Glowmaster. You gain life. You gain life each time your opponent draws a card would actually be pretty good.
Yeah.
Is there a card like that?
No, I mean it's always all the.
The possibility of sacking Portable Hole to find Painter with a Soul Land to Grindstone Painter combo and end this game is real.
And then I'll draw.
That is Crucible of Worlds on the battlefield on Eddie's side. I don't know. I don't have all the versions memorized, but that is Crucible of Worlds, you know.
And then I'll play a DRC and pass.
Dragon's Rage Channeler passed the turn. Let's see what Oswald Fiddlebender has in store for us this turn. Does Eddie have a Soul Land? Does Eddie have a land and a Petal or a Mox Opal? Is this game going to continue or is it over? It's probably over in the next turn cycle either way. We're on the edges of our seats.
2 sorcery, 3 times.
I will make it very unfortunate.
Okay, so sacking Ancient Den to Oswald Fiddlebender. Eddie calling the situation unfortunate. Let's see what we're finding this time.
Hold for Psychic Frog. How do I feel?
That's fine.
It's not a spell.
Let's see.
Okay, another Portable Hole. And it seems like it has selected Psychic Frog.
In response to exile these 2 cards to give it flying.
Okay.
It's gonna give this 2 counters.
I lose.
Okay, so as the Psychic Frog is targeted, Murktide will be grown by exiling cards to give Psychic Frog flying on its way out. And Eddie concedes the game. So we're going to game 2. If you're new around here, this deck that Eddie the Intern plays is fantastic. It's a lot of pleasure to watch. Very difficult to play against. Yeah, it's been a treat to see Eddie play Mono White Painter again on stream. Mother of Runes off an Ancient Den. It is in.
Oh. Go.
All right. Easy bolt on Mother of Runes.
Gajo.
What I'm playing right now.
Oswald.
Yep.
Iganjo and Oswald Fiddlebender. Oswald, one of the engines of the deck, as you saw in game 1.
I'll float away. Okay. Go to second main. Cast Endurance.
Delver of Secrets comes in. Eddie will drop another Sworn Canonist. Looks like Eddie's holding another Ancient Den and a Painter in hand. Sacking Ancient Den to Oswald Fiddlebender.
Did you,
Pithing Needle. I'm going to name Polluted.
Okay, the sneaky Pithing Needle. It names Polluted Delta. Delver Trigger.
Stupid Merfolk.
Sneaky. Oswald Fiddlebender, folks.
That as a flying man without fire.
No.
All right, Misty Rainforest. I guess that's why we're supposed to put different fetches with different names in our decks, folks. Put that in your notes.
Yeah, go ahead. Yep.
Oswald Fiddlebender will untap Needle and Nethersworn Canonist and Ancient Den, technically, the artifacts on the battlefield. Here's our Mother of Runes. Mother of Runes could be quite nasty. Nethersworn Canonist will get into the red zone. Fetch Misty. Uh-oh.
I
think I'm gonna say you got this one.
Like I'm watching the clock expire. My players, I gotta make the pause.
You used to play availability of live again.
Fine.
Orcish Bowmaster. Wow. Hits Mother Runes. Forgot this card existed, right, chat? All right. Double block. Ethersworn Canonist. Canonist down. Portable Hole. That'll remove Delver. No possibility of saving the Delver there. Polluted Delta is upside down because it's named with Needle. Oswald Fiddlebender may try to assemble the Painter combo at some point. Something to watch out for. Herman's now learning about all of Eddie's nasty tricks. Brainstorm happens here. It looks like Dragon's Rage Channeler and Psychic Frog were drawn. There's a Wasteland in hand, it looks like, which could be decent. Probably would go after Ancient Den, is my guess.
I'll pass.
Okay.
Scalding Tarn. Dragon's Rage Channeler. Ali, thank you for the sub with Prime. 7 months. Great stream. Thank you for the review. Thank you for the review. Ingenious Smith.
Find a Sentinel.
Yep.
Which will go in my hand.
Yep.
Do you know what's on top of your deck?
And it finds Esper Sentinel, a card we don't see much in Legacy these days. Ingenious Smith, a neat card in this mono white painter deck. B Chen says, loving the gameplay. Thank you, B Chen. Appreciate it. Scalding Tarn gets cracked. Herman only with one land locked down by this Pithing Needle. Undercity Sewers, Surveil.
Yeah.
How much of the swords are?
Or a battle. You have Invasion of Tarkir.
Does anybody know, is Surveil on the Storm scale? And where is it on the Storm scale? Is it like a 10 out of 10? Wasteland into the yard.
Let me see your hand. Yeah, that's very Oh, you are right.
Looks like a Bowmaster, a Frog, a Brainstorm, and a Murktide in Herman's hand. Murktide was key in game 1. Here's Psychic Frog. Pass the turn. No Delirium yet.
There's a Saga.
Urza's Saga. That could be a problem.
Oh, yeah, you know.
Phyrexian Revoker.
This is resolved. That will not be sword.
The hero who made carry
Prince
the-
who was promised.
Yeah.
I'm gonna name Psychic Frog.
Yep.
Okay, Phyrexian Revoker named Psychic Frog. More of Eddie's tricks. Ingenious Smith will get a plus one counter. So Needle on Polluted Delta, Phyrexian Revoker on Psychic Frog.
Prince.
You got 3 cards in hand?
3.
I'm gonna sacrifice this Pithing Needle. I don't think you having.
Okay, so Pithing Needle gets sacked to Oswald Fiddlebender. Herman could not be more excited about that situation. Searching the deck now. What are we looking for? It's going to be a number 2.
Creatures you control and to
Painter Servant.
Let's go.
And I'll pass.
What color are we naming?
I am naming black.
Black. Okay.
Black has been the color named by the Painter Servant.
And Steph.
Yes.
3 damage attack wave and all.
I got 2 in hand, by the way.
Yep. One of which is I know. I'm gonna cast Brainstorm or Surveil.
That will.
Okay, Brainstorm Surveil. Left the card on top, so Herman liked it. Looks like it was a copy of Fatal Push on top of the deck. Consigned to Memory and Volcanic Island might have been the cards drawn.
Okay. Okay.
And what am I doing?
Yep.
Consigned to Memory could be a way to counter an ability out at a key time in this game. Psychic Frog available. No Delirium, I think, for the DRC. I see Instant Land Creature.
Oh, mulligan. Same area.
We're Bowmaster away.
I'm gonna Bowmaster.
That's fine.
Bowmaster hits the Revoker. Revoker down. Psychic Frog flips back around. It's no longer confused. Was that what Upside Down meant in Pokemon? Does anybody know? Psychic Frog attacks.
Are you gonna jump it?
No.
I'll block.
Okay. I will.
Ingenious Smith is blocking. Murktide is discarded.
Out of the pearl.
Kill your.
Ingenious Smith dies. No card drawn though. If you're wondering what the black card is on Eddie's side, that's just an indicator for Painter. Painter Servant stuck under there. It's naming black. Urza Saga ticks up to 2, second chapter. The Painter more visible now. Another Painter.
I'm gonna sacrifice this.
Too risky.
Sacrificing Polluted Delta in response. Finding a Volk.
Two cards left, right?
The cards are good.
I know.
2 cards left in Eddie's hand. Urza Saga potentially next turn could look for Grindstone, which could be really bad news for Herman. Consigned to memory. Everything is black, is reminded by Eddie. Fatal push on the original Painter in response to the second Painter. And then consigned to memory. So that'll work. Both Painters are gone. Good play there by Herman. Good catch by Eddie to remind that everything is black.
Okay.
And a Grindstone past the turn. So Herman managed to remove Painter from the battlefield for now. Oswald Fiddlebender could potentially find another at some point. So we're not out of the dark yet. Mishra's Bauble.
Alright, so I'm attack 5.
You can.
Oh, yeah.
You can do 5 times.
I'll attack and see what it
How is it?
And not good.
There's a Plains on top of Eddie's library. 5 damage will get in. Herman will draw a card off the Frog.
Yep.
I'll play a moment.
I will go for turn.
Yeah.
Go for 3.
Drawing for turn, Urza Saga will enter its last chapter. Eddie is going to float a mana. Scary. This is getting scary.
Alright, good. I'll hold it.
What shall I find?
What shall I find is the question. Most likely will be, Mox Opal. Opening up mana possibility here to search for a Painter and combo. Floated a mana with Urza Saga.
You can stop this, I'll shuffle. But I'll play planes. Sacrifice portable hold.
Sacrificing Portable Hold to Oswald Fiddlebender. Delver will re-enter the battlefield on Herman's side, but I don't think Eddie will give a damn. Eddie's just shuffling here. I'm not sure what's happening.
That's neither.
Getting Painter.
Yeah.
Okay, we're getting Painter. And this could be the game. Activating Grindstone, targeting Herman. Game 2 goes to Eddie. Oswald Fiddlebender, folks.
Or tempo deck. Take the tempo.
Yep.
After this match, I'm thinking maybe... I don't know. I don't want to overreact. This isn't Magic Twitter, but maybe Oswald Fiddlebender should go on the watch list.
It's gonna be a good game, I guess.
Yeah, I'll keep it.
Alright, let's see.
It's just like, I don't know. The play patterns are a little off for me. Misty Rainforest cracked here.
Even there.
Definitely.
Got a Ponic.
No.
Got a DRC.
I do have DRC.
When you're watching Magic games, folks, I want you to start thinking about like, what about the play patterns? You know, like what's going on with that? All right, Dragon's Rage Channeler, Mishra's Bauble, Surveil. Like, the play patterns, like what like, how does it feel? You know, like think about your feelings. Like check in with yourself.
And then I will.
Mishra's Bauble reveals Phyrexian Revoker on top of the library. Eddie shoves it in our faces.
The old, just throw one to I'll pass and draw.
Planes. Either vial.
Either vial. Chili says Chris with the hot takes. You want to hear a scorching hot take, chat? Does anybody want to hear a scorching hot take?
Bubble, draw for turn.
I'm the Liberator.
Raise your hand if you want my hottest take yet.
I'll take 3.
What?
Thing, draw.
Yep.
Vial takes up.
There's a Saga.
I don't know if people are ready for my hot takes. All right, Urza's Saga comes in. Ingenious Smith.
Play a moment.
If I'm Esper Sentinel,
Yep.
activate Vial.
Sure.
Put an Esper Sentinel.
Yep.
Counter on Smith. Pass turn.
Okay, putting in an Esper Sentinel. That'll pump Ingenious Smith. Using the Vial, that is. Eddie setting things up here, I would say. Here's Psychic Frog. Esper Sentinel won't trigger on that. Vial will get another charge counter. It now has 2. Urza's Saga is going to tick up also to 2. Drops a Wasteland. Activating Vial. This could get interesting here. Okay, we're discarding 2 cards in response. We know that Phyrexian Revoker is available. Good play there by Herman to take advantage of an opportunity to grow the frog. Genius Smith will grow here. Phyrexian Revoker will name Psychic Frog.
Okay. I will pass turn.
Heads up play there by Herman to grow the frog with the Vial ability on the stack. Knowing that Phyrexian Revoker was drawn on, I believe, the previous turn. Looks like Herman's holding a copy of Meltdown. That could be disaster for Eddie.
Full to green.
Alright.
I'll take that.
Scalding Tarn gets cracked.
Oh, I did that wrong. Whatever. I should just use this.
Keep in mind, though, if a meltdown happens here, Eddie could make a construct on end step and start getting that up and running with the 3/3 Ingenious Smith on the board. Psychic Frog may start swinging away. We'll see. Demox, thank you for the resub. 18 months. That's a new badge, a new achievement for Demox. Eddie the Intern, that's a name I haven't heard in a long time. Yep, Eddie the Intern was back in New York City for a little while. Joined us on stream a few times.
Like,
Mana Tide.
10 options to kill
I
him.
had like an abundance of
Volcanic
stuff
Outburst
going
on
on.
my turn.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Eddie the Intern, a crowd favorite on 90s MTG for sure.
I'm gonna Fatal Push to Ingenious Smith.
Fatal Push on Ingenious Smith. Esper Sentinel trigger pointed out. Herman will choose to pay.
Supposed to block.
I will call that fine.
Fatal Push removes Ingenious Smith successfully. Herman looks like choosing to hold off on Meltdown for now. It seems. Okay, a little bit of a delay on Surveil trigger. It's all good. This is FNM. Underground Sea into the trash. Attacking with Dragon Rage Channeler. We are Delirious. We're going to make a construct. Eddie will make a construct on end step. Herman held off on that Meltdown. Let's see if Herman gets punished for it or if being patient pays off. Vial kept on 2. Eddie does, I don't think Eddie puts Vial any higher than 2 with this deck. Urza's Saga ticks up to 3. What's the plan? No Oswald Fiddlebender on the board.
I think I'm going to activate.
There's a... Okay, activating Vial with Urza's Saga's ability on the stack.
Smith isn't great.
That is it.
Smith is on the battlefield.
Okay.
Okay, an Ingenious Smith vialed in. Its ability will resolve, putting a Soul Guy Lantern into hand.
Not fetching. I'm putting it in my hand.
Yes.
This is why I did that first. I will.
I mean, it makes armor work.
I think floating a lot.
Okay.
I'll search my library.
Okay, floating a mana with Urza's Saga. We're going to search the library. Eddie has been playing this deck enough that he's aware of the possibility of a Meltdown. So, yeah, what are we looking for here? I mean, I know there's mana rocks in the deck. Eddie already pointed out Pithing Needle won't be the choice. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I mean, it could just be Grindstone here. Vial has already been activated. If you know, if Eddie had looked for Grindstone this time and had a Painter in hand, the game might have ended. Just Eddie's nasty tricks. Seems like Eddie's undecided on this Urza Saga search.
Confused.
Still pretty good.
Maybe I just have 2 in this version? I don't know.
Actually gonna go for
Something up. Oh, never mind.
Oh,
I
you did sideboard it out.
Yes, I did.
Okay, something has been sideboarded out. What are we looking for here? I assume we're just going to find Grindstone. Okay, Hope of Guriper. Okay.
Triggers my Smith.
Yep. You stop the mana.
Yes, I did. Thank you very much.
17.
17,
Right?
sorry,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then I will.
Oh, was a Grindstone drawn? I've kind of lost track. But it's possible that there's a Grindstone in Eddie's hand.
On my Sunrise Lantern, I'll pick.
Soul Guy Lantern getting cast here. We're going to try and shut off Delirium, it seems, by choosing Creature. Nope, just choosing Fatal Push.
It would be worst with this. Okay. I've got an Ganjo Castle. And I've got a Grindstone.
All right, Eddie dropping more artifacts onto the battlefield, playing a Grindstone off Iganjo Castle.
Got this up, and I'll attack you with my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7.
Go.
7/7 Construct gets in. Herman's Meltdown looking pretty good right now.
Okay, yes. 2 cards? 2 cards.
I'm gonna cast Meltdown for 2.
I'd like to reprieve that.
Anyway, yeah.
Ooh, reprieve. Oh, man. Esper Sentinel trigger. Herman's going to allow a drawn card.
Alright, let's play a
So
card.
did you go for Sentinel and go for
Yes.
Reprieve? Okay.
Play first in
I'll go to combat.
Okay.
Yep.
Go attack.
Reprieve. Soul Guy Lantern will remove the graveyard, and we're going to set up a block here with Ingenious Smith. Dragon's Race Channeler is down. There's another Dragon's Race Channeler. Pass to turn. Eddie with Reprieve to save the team for a turn. Let's see what happens.
Off your turn.
Yep.
I've got a Wasteland. A Wasteland, your Volcanic Island.
Yeah, really.
Okay, a Volcanic Island gets wasted.
I will swing out.
Swing out.
Yep.
Everybody.
Swinging with everybody. Looks like a 7/7 construct or 6/6 construct. Dragon's Race Channeler is going to chump it, of course.
Sack a Wasteland.
Esper Sentinel getting blocked by the 3/4 Psychic Frog. Psychic Frog will survive combat. Dragon's Race Channeler will not. I believe 4 damage gets in. 5 damage gets in.
Activate Hope of Giriper targeting you.
Hope of Guriper has been sacked, so no non-creature spells. Meltdown held off for another turn.
It still counts it. When it dies, it goes to the graveyard.
I'd like to activate Grindstone targeting creature.
Yep, that's still a creature.
Yeah, I messed up the first.
Painter and the combo. GG's. Eddie's nasty tricks, folks. Eddie's nasty tricks. He's at it again. Wow. Mono white Painter. Menace of the metagame. Make sure you adjust your sideboards and add that to your spreadsheets. Microphone went out. Microphone went out. All right, everybody, I am back. Thanks for waiting up for me. Let's set up another poll for the Twitch chat. Which match next? Options will be four-color Control versus Dimir Tempo, or Esper Control versus Blue-Black Reanimator, or Grixis Delver versus Blue-Black Reanimator, or Painter versus Breakfast, or Painter versus Eldrazi. 2 minutes to vote. Get your votes in. Two minutes to vote. Poll happening right now in the chat. Our Discord server is up on your screen. Join the Discord if you're not yet in the Discord. We also have a Patreon. Join us on Patreon. And we have a merch shop. Go check it out. We have multiple merch shops, actually. Go check that out if you are interested. All right, so votes are coming in. About a minute and a half to vote. It looks like people are leaning one direction at this point. People do try to rig these polls using channel points. Something to watch out for. We do have air conditioning on in the background right now, so you may hear that. Let's see what's going on in the Discord. Let's see if people are joining. Okay, people are joining. Let's see what people are discussing in the Legacy channel. Oh, wait, this is not what I was wanting to show. Where is it? Ah, whatever. I forgot where it is. New spoilers coming in from new Secret Lairs. Pretty neat stifle. A new Ponder. People seem excited about. That Faithless Looting is also really nice. Nothing else Legacy relevant here. I guess Acererak is a little bit of a stretch for Alurin. Almost out of time on the poll. Close vote. Force of Vil suggesting Ring of Maruf. Aviator contributed 4,200 channel points. Painter versus Eldrazi is up next. Let's do it. I don't think we've had this matchup on stream yet. Diving in.
Winner is technically the Revenant. I'm good.
All right, on the left side of your screen, we have Ed with Mono Red Painter, and on the right, we have Dave Kaplan with Eldrazi.
No, you don't reveal.
I played against Ed at this event, and we had quite an epic match. Eldrazi Mimic on turn one, off an Eldrazi Temple. Okay, Lightning Bolt takes out the Mimic. That's worthwhile, I would say. Fable of the Mirror Breaker is in. We'll make a Goblin Shaman. Neat token. Mox Opal. No Metalcraft yet.
Cavern Eldrazi.
Okay, Eldrazi Line Breaker. It's going to attack. Eldrazi Line Breaker, one of the new Eldrazi from MH3. The Eldrazi deck, I would say, is back in Legacy. Eldrazi Stompy, Eldrazi Aggro, whatever. Discarding an Ancient Tomb and a Mountain to Fable of the Mirror Breaker second chapter.
Sure. I'll make a treasure.
Okay, attacking with the Goblin Shaman, making a treasure. That is a treasure token that was just placed onto the battlefield. Great Furnace was the land drop, an artifact land. Another copy of Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Ancient Tomb does some damage to Ed, makes another Goblin Shaman. And Goblin Engineer. Okay. Building out quite a board here. Goblin Engineer will search, put something into the graveyard. Let's see what we find. With Goblin Engineer, you could potentially find cards like Phyrexian Dragon Engine, which is pretty cool. Chaos Defiler, pretty cool. Occasionally, you'll see combo pieces put into the graveyard. I see Ed has grabbed Ensnaring Bridge. Okay. Mandraw, thank you for the sub with Prime. 11 months. We'll see if Mandraw sticks with us for one more. Thank you for that. So Ed with quite a board here. Goblin Engineer next turn could potentially bring in this Ensnaring Bridge, which could shut the Eldrazi down. Line Breaker, the lone creature on Kaplan's board as of right now. Looks like Kaplan's trying to come up with a plan.
And if you have any more questions, I can
One card in Ed's hand, it looks like.
Well, you always hear great, but like, if you don't, it's about.
That is Eye of Ugin. Sorry about the glare.
Line breaker with one float.
Okay, another Line Breaker. There's one mana floating, apparently, from Eldrazi Temple. And Endless One. X is 3. So a 3/3 Endless One. Sorry for the glare.
Currently, I could make it a 6/7.
I'm just trying to. I'm gonna take your plate.
So they become 6, right?
This is just a 3/3. No chance. So this is going to become 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. And this is a. So this is 6/3. This is. Yeah, they're both 6/3s, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Man.
Yeah, this one has trample. This one does not.
And then, so I just want to make sure you didn't have.
Okay, so it sounds like Kaplan is swinging for 15 here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trample, no trample.
Trample, trample, no trample. Endless One does not have trample built in. The Line Breakers do. Yeah, I guess both players just trying to make sure they get this right. Looks like a chump block with a Goblin Shaman on the Endless One. That makes sense. Goblin Engineer will absorb some damage here.
Yep.
Okay, allowing the Goblin Engineer to die. Going down to 2. Did I have wrong how much power was coming in? I don't know. Discarding 2 cards, Reflections of Kiki Jiki, and Snaring Bridge stuck in the yard. No way to grab it for now. That is a scoop. Eldrazi takes game 1. Big attack. Line breaker showing off a little bit there. Ending the game.
I take 6.
All right, looks like Kaplan has taken a mulligan, and Ed has kept a 7-card hand. Ed will be on the play. If there were a way for me to, in real time, I mean, there is a way, but a lot of you are watching this later than when this event actually happened, of course. So if there were a way for round by round, the people who watch what you're watching right now, to choose which deck archetypes we should prioritize. What decks do you want to watch? What decks do you want to watch right now? If I were at an event and I was walking around the room choosing featured matches, what decks do you want to see on stream? You two commenters chime in. Goblin Wolder on the board, Eldrazi Mimic for Kaplan. Eye of Ugin was the land drop. Goblin Engineer. LH with an interesting answer. Decks with bling. Yeah, bling decks do get a lot of love on 90s MTG. Cow Panda says Painter, Cloud Post, Breakfast. Okay. Yeah, Cloud Post is hot right now. A lot of people are liking Cloud Post. Decks that were tested for 1v1, says Mr. Bips. A great answer. Chaos Defiler goes into the graveyard. And I don't know if those of you watching right now are familiar with Chaos Defiler, but this is really nasty with Welder and Goblin Engineer. Once again, the land on Kaplan's side is Eye of Ugin, banned in Modern. This card is kind of come back as a legacy staple very recently after MH3. It was on hiatus for a while. Eldrazi wasn't very popular in Legacy before MH3, but now it's quite popular. Cavern of Souls, most likely naming Eldrazi. Have you ever made a room tour of the stores you play in? Would be interesting to see, says LH. We post quite a bit of pictures in our Discord server. If that interests you, you should definitely go check that out. I don't do it often, but we post some behind-the-scenes stuff. Lotus Petal. Welder getting activated. Fairy Macabre to exile Chaos Defiler and stop that whole situation. So the swap does not happen. Lotus Petal will stay on the battlefield. Ed just confirming that. Yeah, Bifrost Games is a nice space. Game Storia also a nice space. Three in hand for Kaplan. Another Goblin Engineer. Okay, what will this find? I don't think we'll see another copy of Cast of Filer in the deck. 710 with a question, what's the best mountain? You know what, 710? Magic players kind of have like a limited capability when it comes to assessing art and analyzing art and all of it. So we're just going to stay away from that for now. Just not a strength for Magic players, it turns out. Snow-covered mountain, the one with the pterodactyl. Yeah, maybe.
I wanted to hit it with a removal, and then I was scared of the night where you were just start digging for everything. It was a really bad situation.
People are like Googling right now. Which version am I supposed to like the best for for Brainstorm? No idea what's going on. The Bob Ross Mountain, yeah, those are cool. Ensnaring Bridge into the graveyard. We got Ensnaring Bridge into the graveyard in game 1 and never really got that going. Hence, Eldrazi up a game here. There's a Wasteland, so 4 mana available potentially for a Thought-Knot Seer. Line Breaker.
I go to attack. Trigger itself. Kind of missed that trigger, sorry.
It's okay.
Not sure how it works. I think I have to announce when it's relevant. Like when it's damage is being done.
Yeah, don't worry. It's fine. Okay. It's cool. I know what you're doing. So it's supposed to be a 3 on this side and then this guy.
Okay, so this is Monday Night Legacy. This is not competitive REL. So a little bit late on the Eldrazi Mimic trigger, but it has grown. Welder's going to try and swap Lotus Petal and Ensnaring Bridge, but this is after attacks. Maybe miscommunication here. Okay, so before attacks that happens. So the creatures are untapping because that was supposed to be before attacks.
You're saying
well, with this,
the beginning
when
of,
you
yeah, okay, so before I actually
before you attack.
Okay.
So like you chose this guy to get pumped, then I'll weld it, and now like the player attackers, and then this guy can't attack.
Okay, worth noting there are 3 cards in Ed's hand, so the Mimic can still attack.
And you have 3 cards in hand?
Yep.
So I can only attack with him,
The
who's a
baby,
3.
the 3. Yeah. I mean.
Okay, Mimic will enter the red zone. 3 damage comes in. Snaring Bridge is nice, but Ed does have to keep this hand empty. Pastina, thank you for the resale with Prime. 9 months. And a hello. Thank you for that. $710 says I might be super basic and just get unhinged mountains. You know what? Get the ones you like the best. Screw what everybody else thinks. Painter's Servant.
We got playing Wasteland. I was like, a million Wasteland.
I did not hear a color name.
You're so many Wasteland. I'm throwing all your Wasteland. I think I did.
Well, it probably named a color. I just didn't hear it. Sorry about that. What color is correct in name here? Probably doesn't matter that much. I don't know.
No, you have the base. There's no way.
I believe you would have to attack for mana because it's
Wait, what happened? Ah, okay. So it's no longer colorless. Okay, let's get the text for Eye of Ugin up on the screen. Eye of Ugin no longer works. They have to be colorless Eldrazi spells to cost 2 less. Good catch there by Ed. So Eldrazi Mimic, not free. Not free. Okay, we'll play the Eldrazi Mimic Kind of the old-fashioned way. Eye of Ugin currently shut off, thanks to the painter.
Alright, I'll go to the beginning of combat.
Looks like 3 cards still in Ed's hand. Beginning of combat, line breaker trigger. There is a welder available, but nothing really worth doing with that, I don't think. Line breaker will attack. Urza's Saga, not too bad. If Urza's Saga can start pumping out some constructs, I think Kaplan could have a really hard time closing this out. Is there a grindstone in hand? I can't really tell. Shuffling through the hand kind of quickly here. Maybe another copy of Urza's Saga in hand. 3 cards in hand. Would love for there to be less, probably, if we're Ed. Okay, we're going to cast something. Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Maybe that's the other saga I saw. Makes a Goblin Shaman.
2 cards in hand and I'll pass to you.
2 cards in hand, past the turn, so the Eldrazi Mimics can still potentially attack. Line Breaker cannot at the moment. As we were starting this match, someone in the chat pointed out that there are some interesting interactions between these 2 decks. Painter, Eye of Ugin, one of them that has popped up so far. Eye of Ugin specifically says colorless Eldrazi costs 2 less. So once Painter's on, the Devoid stuff and all of that kind of shut off for Kaplan. Unfortunately, don't know what color Painter named. That's my bad. But probably black or blue. Likely blue, yeah. It's blue. Okay, Wasteland goes after the Saga. That makes sense. Going down on mana, though. Linebreaker will do nothing. All right, passing the turn. Fable ticks up to 2. Yeah, the possibility of Red Elemental Blast and Pyroblast being able to hit any permanent. Always pretty good. Discarding a Painter's Servant to Fable of the Mirror Breakers, Chapter 2. Discarding a Lotus Petal as well. So, all right, so drawing 2 cards now. Dump some stuff we don't need. Fable of the Mirror Breaker continues to be such a good card.
Well, I don't know why it took so long to take a look at that card. Yeah.
With Welder and Goblin Engineer available, it'll be a little bit hard for Kaplan to do a whole lot about artifacts. Looks like 2 cards in hand. Pass the turn. Okay, no attacks, just passing the turn. Back to Ed. Fable of the Mirror Breaker will become Reflections of Kiki Jiki. Taking it all the way out of the sleeve, placing it on top of the empty sleeve technique being used here. Very interesting. Another Goblin Engineer. This could put something nasty in the yard. What are we looking for this time? Kaz Defiler has been exiled. Got Fairy Macabre early on in this game. Grindstone. Could be trouble.
Don't play the Void Walker.
I think it'd be such a hilarious movie. It was like a sketch where it's all
saying don't play the Walker, so that's
You're not in a position to play on
I'll take the Goblin Shaman, create a treasure.
Okay, the line breaker will attack the Goblin Shaman. That attack just to make a treasure, it looks like. Pass the turn. Opening up some extra mana for plays on the following turn. Grindstone in the graveyard. There is also a Painter's Servant in the graveyard. A Painter's Servant in play. Triple Goblin Engineer and a Welder. Ensnaring Bridge on the board, shutting off attacks for Kaplan. This game looks pretty good for Ed, game 2.
And Grindstone.
End step, Welder activated, swapping Treasure and Grindstone. Grindstone is on the board.
Before you untap. Dismember.
Okay, before also still on Kaplan's end step, we're going to see a Dismember on Painter Servant. Goblin Engineer getting activated. Another Pharaoh Macabre could be pretty good here. Nope, hold on.
And for the death right, he does a black on that turn.
Sacking Ensnaring Bridge. Painter Servant coming back. Okay, that is the scoop. Going to game 3. Kaplan making Ed demonstrate an understanding of how to combo there. Moving on to game 3. Kaplan will be on the play. We saw Eldrazi deliver a quick beating in game 1. Kaplan will try to do that again, I guess.
Nobody showed up, right? So in the final,
Adam pointing out should have engineered in response to Dismember to get around Fairy. Yeah, could have swapped Painter Servant for Painter Servant, right? And, yeah, I guess that wouldn't get around Fairy. Okay. Secluded Courtyard. Gravedigger's Cage.
Creatures can't enter from the
Graveyards or libraries, and spells can't be cast in graveyards.
Maybe a couple
are we playing zero?
I'm just gonna look up the one.
Oh, yeah.
Still playing, yeah, I was playing 4 hero, 4 Crusader. I was playing the.
There's Eldrazi Mimic once again. Goblin Welder is on the board on Ed's side. Goblin Welder, one of the nasty creatures in the Painter deck. Okay, looked like Ed was looking up the Oracle text for Gravedigger's Cage. I don't believe Kaplan's copy is in English. Looks like Korean.
Also playing small parts, which like right now it's
Welder trying to bring in creatures from the graveyard would be shut off from Gravedigger's Cage. All right, Thought Knot Seer comes in, trigger the Mimic. Thought Knot Seer's ability.
I wanted you guys.
I know exactly who Roxy is.
Okay, gonna bolt the Eldrazi Mimic in response. It will die. Thought Knot Seer's ability will now resolve. Let's see the hand. a Braid, Basic Mountain, Fable of the Mirror Breaker ×2, and Goblin Engineer. Dave Kaplan wearing Yankee hat. Oh, God.
I'll play open.
This is a series of really bad rips, followed by a series of really good. Try to add one.
Take it off.
I think you're fucking with me. I think that it was
Okay, one copy of Fable of the Mirror Breaker has been taken by Thought Not Seer. So the hand will stay face up here.
something you have to see. I think you have to file.
Remember that jump man?
Yeah. You can't take too many beats.
So he's playing against that.
Fable of the Mirror Breaker comes in. People shouting out their favorite baseball teams in the chat. Go Sox, but we don't know if we're talking about red or white. Giants, Phils, yeah.
But now it's like just right. Opponent ends up conceding.
There are other lines.
He's like, he wasn't like when I passed turn, I knew that I was sick. There was nothing like Boros record. Like he had to attack. So I think as long as I can deal with what was on board.
Yeah, Adam making a point that the cage doesn't completely shut off Welder. All right, Chalice on 2. We know that there's an Abrade and Goblin Engineer in hand, so that was pretty good. Chalice on 2. Pretty nasty. But yeah, if you activate Welder targeting a creature in the graveyard, you'll still sacrifice the creature, the artifact that's in play, and then the creature won't enter from the yard. It's kind of a weird thing. Non-creature artifacts are not really affected by Grafdigger's Cage. Roberts, thank you for the resub. 26 months. Yo, 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 yo.
I don't think that's the worst.
Yo.
Like double this matchup, but not very much here. Because you look at 4 cards, those are your I have an opponent playing just
Okay, discarding Goblin Engineer and a Basic Mountain to draw 2. Abrade is the only known card in hand by Kaplan right now. And it's currently shut off by a challenge on 2. Urza's Saga, not too bad. Fable of the Mirror Breaker on its second chapter. Next turn could become Reflections of Kiki Jiki. Attacking with the Goblin Shaman, making a treasure. Thought Not Seer, 4 power, pretty good clock. But if Ed can start making some constructs, could be a problem for Kaplan. Kaplan does have a Wasteland right now, though. Gonna fire it off. Kind of had no choice but to disable that Urza Saga. Tanking with Thought Not Seer, no blocks. That is the, oh man, I keep forgetting the name of this card. Maybe I should have stayed for Google, but I don't really know whether it gets me far.
Yeah, I was having really close down. So I got rid of that. So I thought I remember you mentioned
Thank you, Just a Pig. It was like on the tip of my tongue. I'm like, what was it called again? Glaring Flesh Raker. I kept thinking Mind Breaker. That's wrong. They got to stop making Eldrazi. I can't memorize them all. So Blood Moon has hit. This could get interesting now. Blood Moon makes it very difficult to make colorless mana. In the casting cost of stuff like the Flesh Raker and Thought Not Seer, there's a colorless mana pip. Can't make that with a basic with a basic or non-basic mountain. So it'll be difficult to cast more Eldrazi right now. Bob with a big question: is it legal to play this many new cards in Legacy? Yeah. Yeah. Some Legacy players can't handle too many new cards. They want to go back to 2011 and stay there. And maybe they should, right?
Did you get there?
Nope. Got chain of squad.
And I'm like, classic. With Blood Rage. So Blood Rage.
All right, Goblin Welder. That'll resolve.
How does this
Yeah,
work?
the typical mirror, the guy playing swords is going to have a better time than the guy not.
Trying to get sneaky here. Goblin Engineer countered by Chalice on 2. Ed, you got to work on sneaking those in.
How much life does this one's 2 or 8 or 16?
Kaplan known to Chalice check people. Didn't fall for it here.
Dark Combats is hard.
Dismember on Reflections of Kiki-Jiki.
The beginning.
Yeah, I remember that. They banned it and
Yeah, every once in a while, if you like wander around the Legacy community long enough, like I have, you just run into these like NPCs that just come out with stuff like, "Do we really need another commander set?" They can't be helped at this point. It's over. All right, Thought Not Seer will die. Ed will draw a card. All right, Gravedigger's Cage. That'll trigger the. All right, a neat way to trigger the Fleshraker with a colorless spell. Make an Eldrazi spawn. The Eldrazi spawn can sack for a colorless, so maybe turning on some plays here, despite Blood Moon. Blood Moon, pretty good against these Eldrazi decks. All right, Magus of the Moon. The token on Ed's side is a treasure.
Final Fortune into that double one.
Yeah, I'm thinking about something.
So two moons on the battlefield for Ed. One of them a creature, one of them not. It's unlikely that Kaplan will be able to break out of a moon here. But Eldrazi spawns could help. Dismember on Magus of the Moon, okay. Making progress, I guess. Tagging with a Fleshraker. Ed down to 5. Chalice on 2, shutting off that Braid. Haha, Lotus Petal, trigger the Fleshraker. The pings. The pings will get you, folks. Down to 2, almost out of time. The Eldrazi spawns can make colorless mana, which is scary. Past its turn, a Braid on end step. It's going to get countered. Chalice check. Might as well. That is the match. Kaplan gets it. Chalice on 2. It looks like won the game. GG's. Good match. Good match. Fought through the Blood Moons. The Eldrazi deck is good. The Eldrazi deck is really good right now. Got to come prepared for it if you're going to play Legacy. Our Discord is up on your screen. Join our Discord server if you're not yet in our Discord server. We also have a Patreon and a merch shop if that interests you. Let's set up another poll for the Twitch chat. Which match should we watch next? Twitch chat will vote. Let's see what we got. Options will be Maverick versus Grixis Delver, or Death and Taxes versus Grixis Delver, or Miracles versus Esper Control, or Esper Energy versus Sultai Beans. Or Eldrazi versus Sultai Beans. 2 minutes to vote. Get your votes in. Keith Master Flex hoping for some gambling. All right, maybe we'll do some gambling the next round. Maybe we'll do some gambling. If you're looking for deck lists or to chat with the players that you regularly see on stream, join our Discord. Make a post in there. People will point you in the right direction. Oh, what was I going to say? Oh, okay. We'll talk about that later. Any Stoneblade matchups? Not much Stoneblade walking around these days. There's a chance we'll see the card Stoneforge Mystic if you play your cards right. That's as far as we'll go, possibly. All right, votes are coming in. About a minute left. People do try to rig these polls. Something to take note of. Yeah, shadowy Backstreet Energy. Possibly. Possibly. Less than a minute. There's going to need to be serious rigging of this poll if the result is going to change in the next 30 seconds. Pretty one-sided poll as of right now. Almost out of time. And it will be people trying to rig it. Esper versus Bug. Peer contributed 1,000 channel points. Let's set it up. Diving in.
I don't know how else to say it.
I lost every single roll.
Today?
We continue.
Yeah, baby. 6. I'll take that. I saw the 2 and I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna botch this.
All right, Dominic on the left with Esper, and on the right we have Sultai. That would be Gabe. Very nice playmat on the left side of your screen.
I was high off Mockingbird Siege since the back. But now in Modern and Legacy Season 2. I bought out Star City that first weekend. That was fun.
Remember, I bought that for the Xbox.
Dominic making 6 piles. Very interesting. Not sure if that's a misplay.
No, the Mockingbirds, I played against it in Modern. Obviously, it's pretty good there. Like,
People are Ranger Captain.
Are we going to see Mockingbirds in this game, chat?
you know, copy when your creatures are also good for them.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing in CDH. So I'm literally getting it to copy opponent's creatures off of Ranger Captain.
And like Bowmasters traditionally is good against like the Boros deck because like you Bowmaster, but then they're Bowmastering you, and it's like, oh, they'll kill my yeah, it's pretty good in the mirror. I don't know if it's worth being blue though over like having Blood Moon or playing Mardu.
Yeah,
like it's good. I just don't know if it's good enough for the.
We'll see.
Prediction poll in the chat. Will we see Mockingbird on the battlefield in this match? Make your predictions now. Go ahead and gamble.
Probably what I want to do.
Gamble it all away.
I'm going to keep it.
Sure.
All right, ready to go. Flooded Strand gets cracked.
Am I going to cat you? No. You fool. Everyone knows you play the Guide of Souls first, then the cat. I'm going to play the Guide of Souls. Legacy staple.
You got it. Take out your energy card.
Let them all see.
Get a Pokemon card for the energy.
Dude, I'm so upset. I saw someone using an electric energy card. Like, that's pretty cool.
Okay, don't do that, folks. Don't put an electric energy on my freaking table. Energy reserve card ready to go. Guide of Souls on turn 1 for Dominic. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. A legacy staple declared. Audrey upset by the whole situation. Wanted to be the first to play these energy cards on stream. Guide of Souls will attack.
Sure. Oh, let me put the. I got life.
Go to 18.
Okay, we got life totals up. Thank you, Dom, for that.
Going to 18.
No energy yet on Dominic's side. Just an energy reserve card ready to go. Basic Island has been found.
Dude, I just know the cat's gonna fall on their face.
74% of the chat expecting to see Mockingbird on the battlefield in this match. We will see. There's almost 13,000 channel points on the line here.
I'm gonna brainstorm in response.
Wasteland on Tundra, brainstorm in response. Is the life total right? On the phone, it might not be. I believe Dom is at 19. Good point by Adam in the chat. Maybe the players will update the phone at some point. It looks like it's written correctly on Gabe's pad, so that may become disputed and then corrected.
Well, it doesn't too.
That's fine.
Oh, I guess you're right. You are stifled. I need to like. I need to ask. Do I have permission?
You do. I don't play that card stuff.
Thank you, Gabe.
I do play the free forcible stuff.
And Alexander wept.
Okay, here's an Ocelot Pride. Another new card from MH3, getting some play in Legacy, but it's getting forced.
17.
Pitching Murktide.
Yes. Yes, it is good. Now this God of Souls is looking pretty bad, though.
Yep.
16. Say go.
Okay, yeah, Dominic should be at 18. The phone is not correct at this point.
Yep. Yep. 17.
Okay, the phone is now correct. By the way, I don't know, is this a hot take? The city's blessing mechanic, it feels like it was such a mistake. Does anyone disagree?
Honestly, good thing you forced that cat. I'm going to cast a Mockingbird for 1.
Mockingbird hitting the stack. Will it hit the battlefield?
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, that's good.
Target the guide. I'm going to make a energy.
Mockingbird is in. Mockingbird is in. We're going to make some energy. And reward some of our prediction poll folks.
Brainstorm. Sure.
It does enter as a copy of another card. So technically a Mockingbird didn't. Imagine. What if I was that petty, Chad?
Swords.
Yeah, it's actually.
Oh, there it is.
All right, there's a stifle on a fetch land.
13.
Say go. That's brutal.
Now
Gems, land, switch.
Psychic Frog, okay. Have to respect the frog these days. Looks like Dominic does not make a land drop, passes the turn, 1 energy.
Land and stifle.
My entire
like,
game plan was
give me
wasteland
a
plus 1
break.
stifle. You should have done it when I brainstormed, I'll be honest.
I don't know. I thought if you had the stifle, you would have.
If I would have used it before?
Yeah, right. Like, I guess you could have brainstormed into it, but
Maybe. No, my whole game plan was stifle with wasteland that turn. The first 3 turns.
yeah.
Frogger's gonna try to hit you.
Yeah. It'll no blocks.
I will say that's going to take 1.
16.
I think you missed the 1 off the fetch.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, because I got stifle.
Yeah, so I'll drop.
Okay, seems like phone is now up to date. Psychic Frog allows a card draw.
Fine.
Got it.
In perpetuity.
PP says, wow, Dom is so cool and innovative for playing Energy plus Mockingbird. Shame no one else at the store thought of it. Yeah. Dominic, I think, is the creator of this deck. The first ever player of this deck.
Let's go to the next one. That.
All right, we're going to game 2. Gabe takes game 1.
Triple Wasteland in yeah, I guess I could have fetched when you brainstormed.
Yeah, I think that was the only
Obviously
play that you could have changed.
In hindsight, but
Pew Pew says, I heard Dom was even the first to trophy with it twice. Wow. Wow.
about that, like at a certain point, you know, I'm not going to play around third and fourth Wasteland as much. I'll keep.
Me too.
S. Lynch says, I feel like City's Blessing is pretty low on the list of mechanics that you would call a mistake. Companion, Storm, and the Initiative all feel like bigger mistakes, but that's just my 2 cents. Okay, we're going to explain the joke. The joke, for those of you new around here, the joke is every Magic set was a mistake. Every mechanic was a mistake. We're making fun of Magic players here on 90s MTG.
But actually,
and it's all deadpan. The whole game a mistake, exactly. It's circling the drain at this point. And I don't know. It's been going downhill since roughly 1995.
So I'll choose
right?
Yep.
Combat? Yeah.
Tamio attacking. Ocelot Pride on the battlefield. We're going to make a clue. Don't need the energy reserve for now.
Trigger.
Sure. Go. Drop.
Tamio versus Tamio. What a flavor fail.
Move to combat? Sure. You got it, Gabe. Get screwed.
2 clues now for Dom. Tamio blocks Tamio, even though it's not necessary. Players maybe joking around a little bit too much. I don't know.
Oh, you're wasting the Underground Sea. I will attempt to flash in Orcish Bowmasters.
Orcish Bowmasters. Could be on the watch list. We don't know. Oh my god, what is that? Alright, yeah, thank you. Do not put a face down freaking token, same color sleeve as your deck. I mean, give me a break. Alright, Tamio attacks, make a clue, Psychic Frog.
Ponder?
Sure.
1, 2, 3. Oh boy. Oh boy. Drop. I'm scared. Fetch.
18. Might use
You know what? Hold on.
Grab this.
Twitch chat with mixed feelings about the Tamio blocking Tamio. Could have led to a blowout or could have stopped ninjas. You really never know, folks. This is Legacy after all. The play patterns are a complete train wreck. And fire design and all that. All right, so Tameo attacking. Psychic Frog grows. And maybe it's going to try and block Tameo here.
Okay.
Tameo dies.
Destroys artifact creatures and shit.
Gabelmeister, thank you for the sub with Prime. Appreciate that.
Sequence 1? Yeah, sure. Give it Tommy.
Copy your Tameo. Sure. Oh, and I also have a third.
Mockingbird now copies Tameo.
Say go.
Mine and stuff.
Well, I have to draw next. This is my head.
I'm still the monarch.
Okay, that is Sink It to Stupor being played as its land side. Perfect Springs attacking with the Frog and Tameo, getting another clue. Orc Army blocking here.
Okay.
Audrey pointing out that if this Mockingbird, which is a copy of Tameo, would transform, it would just exile itself forever. That is a risk. Let's see if that comes up in this game. That'll be actually be pretty interesting. The Bowmaster. Wait, hold on. Did Gabe draw and then Bowmaster was I don't remember if that happened or not. All right. Mockingbird attacking, making a clue.
I've got it too. Yep. Whatever works.
Mockingbird doesn't copy tokens, right?
It can?
It can. As in, if I copy your frog, it'll get the +1 counters.
Oh, no. Those are counters.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Second main.
Creature.
Oh, the frog was blocked. The frog was blocked. Thank you, chat.
Yeah,
So
Mockingbird.
it's sorcery is 1,
2?
land enchantment is 3, 4 is artifacts,
Ooh, just read it.
instant is 5, and creature is
I mean, I figured might as well play it out since I just,
Yeah, it's fine.
copy your frog.
Sure.
Okay, Mockingbird is a copy of Frog.
Bowmaster, my Bowmaster. Sure.
Bowmaster, your Bowmaster. Wow.
Bowmaster. That was my last card. Sure. Because if I Bowmaster your Bowmaster in response to Mockingbird, you could just make it another Bowmaster.
Yeah. Oh, I see.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
I was scared you were going to make a second Bowmaster.
I could have.
How many cards?
Stop helping.
Nice, 2.
Attacking with Tameo and Psychic Frog. The Mockingbird that's untapped is a copy of Psychic Frog. The Mockingbird that's tapped is a copy of Tameo, Inquisitive Scholar.
So the question is, if you have a push anyway, I'm just probably not winning this, whether I bin my hand. I'm just so far behind.
I have a attack trigger.
Yes, you get the attack trigger. I guess you could. Your card could be Brainstorm. I'll bin 1 for the frog.
Okay, discarded a Brainstorm to grow the Frog. Discarding a Psychic Frog to grow the Frog.
I'll sack it to remove counters.
I will crack.
Sure.
Gabe cracks a clue before blocks.
That's fine.
I'll block the Tameo.
You're using 4 different types.
Yep. No effects.
Tameo down. Psychic Frog will get in a hit. Gabe will draw a card. Gabe currently with the Bowmaster advantage on the board right now. So the untapped Mockingbird once again is a copy of Psychic Frog. The tapped one is a copy of Tameo, Inquisitive Scholar.
That's 2.
So you have 2 cards.
Pokimoki in the chat says Tamio is definitely a good card. Lot tougher to utilize when you're tight on mana. Yeah, the clues cost 2 to sack. Dominic has 4 clues sitting on the table right now. It's going to take a while
In the second bow.
to get the advantage of those investigates early on in this game.
I still think copying the frog was right.
A frog in your hand, though.
I did have a frog in my hand.
I don't know. We'll talk about it.
It was better than one frog, though. It was 2 frogs. Yeah, maybe I could have copied the Bowmasters. That would have been...
Because it's completely neuters my Tamio, right? Because any
Yeah.
card I try to draw after.
Yeah, you're right. That's definitely what I should have done.
Because if I have to draw 2 extra cards, you
Yeah,
get a
I'll be honest, that line never even crossed my mind. I'll play a Wasteland.
Okay.
I'll move to combat.
Just naturally it's flying, right?
Yes.
It does have flying. It is a Mockingbird copying Psychic Frog.
That's fine. I'll take 3 instead of 13.
Draw.
Trigger Bowmaster.
Yep.
Bowmaster triggers after the draw. Tamio staying back on defense. The Mockingbird copy of Tamio.
Fetch.
12. Yeah, fair. That's why I did
I'm getting trouble. Try to crack a flip.
It's not the normal red and not the normal.
Okay, Gabe's going to crack a clue here to draw a card. Down to 1 clue.
Got something cooking. It's good.
See that up for
Swinging with everybody. 3 power Psychic Frog, Bowmaster, 2/2 Orc Army. The other token in the top center of your screen is a clue. Just 1 clue right now. Gabe with a bunch of cards in hand.
Let's see.
Tamio, Inquisitive Scholar, is the Mockingbird on defense. That could block here. Does it chump Psychic Frog? Is that worth it? Dominic has 4 clues. Okay, it looks like we're chumping Psychic Frog.
No.
Okay.
You take 3 down to 11. Fetch mace, trigger. Sure.
Yeah, I believe Gabe's deck is posted in our Discord server. I'll double check that later. Hedge Maze, Surveil.
You tank for 5.
Spotted a Force of Will in Gabe's hand. All right, players are laughing. Psychic Frog into the graveyard.
Holy shit, dog. Murktide Regent, it's a 5/5.
Murktide Regent, it's a 5/5. Entire graveyard is gone. Is Murktide on the watch list?
Ping.
Sure, I'm at 10.
Yep.
Bowmaster trigger after the clue gets sacked. Bowmaster doing its job. 3/3 Orc Army now. A lot of threats on Gabe's side. Not much going on for Dom besides 3 clues and a Mockingbird that's a copy of Psychic Frog.
Jesus. Ponder.
Ponder Shuffle.
So you'll have 3 cards after the draw.
Yes.
3 cards.
Yeah, Truth Gold, absolutely right. Think about the creature play patterns, folks. Think about it all.
Become a 6, 7.
If you want to cut it.
You're fine.
I'll draw.
I'll ping the front.
The frog.
Yep. 1 damage on it.
Okay, 1 damage dealt to the frog.
This is like, it's like you know, I mean, you knew I wanted to have some removal, so
How many cards in hand?
what I'm saying is, I reanimate the Magus. You don't have Ringer. Yeah, and then at the end of it.
Because, what's it called?
Try to crack the clue. My last one.
Sure.
Okay, sacking the final clue is Gabe. Going to untap.
Yeah, 4 cards in hand.
Yep. Combat.
Okay, 4/4 Origami, 5/5 Murktide, 3/4 Psychic Frog, all attacking here. 3/4 copy of Psychic Frog on defense. We're going to try and block Psychic Frog with Psychic Frog.
How many cards? 3?
3 cards in Dom's hand. I believe there's 4 in Gabe's hand. So discarding rather. Uro. Is Uro on the watch list? Discarding Ponder.
Will also discard a card.
Ocelot Pride. Evenly matched Psychic Frogs. Discarding Brainstorm. Discarding Brainstorm. Dominic could sack a clue.
I'm just dead. This game's just over. Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, I'll discard my force.
I can draw a card to also. Yeah.
Okay, that is the match. Dominic has scooped it up. There was a sword sitting on top of the library. And GG's. GG's. Good games. That was a good one. Yeah, the Murktide was able to grow and end the game. That was another thing going on. Okay. Where are we on time? All right. 2-minute break. Don't go anywhere. All right, everybody, I am back. Thanks for waiting up for me. We will set up another poll for the Twitch chat. Which match do we want to watch next? The options will be Miracles, excuse me, versus Mono Black Aggro, or Jeskai Energy versus Grixis Delver, or Eldrazi versus Sultai Beanstalk, or Lands versus Grixis Delver, or Dead Gael versus Miracles. 2 minutes. Get your votes in. Any Doomsday? No, we haven't seen Doomsday on stream in quite a while. All right, votes are coming in. People do try to rig this thing. Our Discord is up on your screen. Join the Discord if you're not in the Discord. We have a Patreon. We have a merch shop. About a minute and a half left to vote. I'm going to vote in this one. What do I want? I get 1 vote. I can't rig anything. I am going to vote for... Okay, I did it. I voted. Close vote so far. People do try to rig this thing using channel points. Let's see. What's going on here? Wow. This is a lot of lands. Okay. That was entertaining. Almost out of time on the poll. And we have decided for Dead Guy versus Miracles. Legacy Hype contributed 2,000 channel points. Let's set this up. Let's set it up. Diving in.
Yeah, I just fresh leaves.
Yeah, this one. Same here.
Yeah, this is the only just like that for
Even. I'll go on the play.
All right, Derek on the left with a Dead Guy Ale brew. And on the right, we have Miracles. That would be Force of Fill, of course. Getting ready to go.
Yeah, let's do this.
There's a bunch of stuff that as I was
Andrew. I'm gonna try this.
Me too.
Yeah.
That is a Flooded Strand. Pass the turn.
Target myself.
Important. Target myself. That resolves.
I'll go like this. Go ahead. Draw.
Yeah. End step.
Yeah.
I'll just use this and I think it'll be fine. I know it's competitive, Mario, but we should be good.
Okay, Shadowy Backstreet. Backstreet is back. Serval.
I'll leave it on top. Okay. On top of 10 for the grip. Draw for 10.
Are you in Manhattan?
Bob? Now I'm in. Bob's good.
Dark Confidant. Dark Confidant on the board. I don't think we've seen this card on stream in quite a while.
19, right?
But
Well, just wait.
Prediction poll happening in the chat.
Sealed is tough, but limited is
I'm gonna brace.
Yeah, that's fine.
Brainstorm resolving here for Force of Phil. Prediction is coming in from the chat. Who will win this match? Will it be Derek, or will it be Phil, or will it be a draw? Gamble away those channel points, folks.
Yeah. I'll pass.
Untap, I'll keep trigger for Bob.
Yep.
Nothing.
Caves of Koilos revealed off Dark Confidant.
Combat?
Yep.
Just you.
Dark Confidant will get in for 2 damage.
I'll just pass.
Terminus revealed. Miracle. Dark Confidant goes away.
Cyclorian River.
That is Lorien revealed getting island cycled. Force of Phil looking for an island of some kind. It will be a tundra. The last time I played against Derek, I got opposition agent knocked out of a game. Ponder. Force of Phil with no fear. Legacy Hype in the chat wants more miracle cards. I think Force of Phil will be for that idea. There's got to be that like bonfire of the damned GIF available when people suggest things like that. There's Tainted Pact.
Yeah.
Tainted Pact resolving here. I saw a Recruiter of the Guard. That's a black-white pathway. Urborg. Fatal Push. Silent Clearing. Bitter Blossom. Mishra's Bauble. Another copy of Tainted Pact. Opposition Agents. Barrowgoyf. A Johnny, maybe. Vanishing Verse. Godless Shrine. Dismember. Dark Ritual. Going through the deck here. Sudden Edict not relevant. Oh, I forgot what this card is called. It's like Duress, but for artifacts or something. Mother Runes. I mean, for whatever. Inquisition of Kozilek. Timeless Dragon.
I'm gonna grab.
Okay, Thespian Stage is selected. The whole rest of those all the rest of those cards are exiled. Thespian Stage will go to hand.
Let's have a keep draw.
Elvelon Art has joined us. Too Many Lands is finally able to catch a live stream. You know what, Too Many Lands, you gotta up your attendance. Here's Thoughtseize, Swords to Plowshares, Thunder, Double Deduce, Portent, and Force of Will revealed.
I'm gonna go to 17, right?
I guess we're going to take Swords to Plowshares now. Based on the choice of Thespian Stage, I think that's the plan. Okay, Swords to Plowshares is gone.
After turn Thespian Stage? Yep. I'll pass.
Okay, plays the Thespian Stage, passes the turn.
That's fine.
Okay, deduce, make a clue. Too Many Lands says, I watch all the videos that drop daily. Work just doesn't want me to be happy, brother. It's all good. Appreciate you checking out our videos on a daily basis. Subscribe on YouTube if you haven't already.
Go. Card this one. Yep.
Elvelon says, I always wonder why Phil doesn't play Temporal Mastery in his deck. He could have so many extra turns with Mystic Sanctuaries, underrated in Miracle decks. Yeah, the Temporal Mastery exiles itself after resolving, Audrey points out. That's one thing. Also, taking another turn can often be just draw a card. But, all right, Dark Depths is on the board right now. Going to do the thing, maybe. Copying Dark Depths. Dark Depths goes away. Marit Lage gets created. Does Force of Phil have an answer for it?
17?
Cast the deuce.
That's fine.
I'm going to pass up to that. And then
Go ahead. Draw on your upkeep.
Keep. Yeah, draw.
No, my.
Oh, Terminus.
Terminus off the top.
All right.
I have 6.
6 cards in hand. Looks like Marit Lage is going to get swept away here by Terminus. The Yu-Gi-Oh card on Phil's side is a clue. Marit Lage is gone.
I'll just pass.
Cyclorian revealed?
That's fine.
Okay, Island Cycling Lorien revealed. Not sure if the Island Cycling mechanic is a mistake or not, but here's Mystic Sanctuary.
Target?
Swords to Plowshares has been chosen to put back on top of the library, it sounds like. Okay, swords on top.
Cast Brainstorm.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, Keith Masterflex pointing out that cycling, all cycling, might be a mistake. Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, the Urza's Saga block was a mistake, so that tracks. They're just making so many mistakes, these Wizards people, you know? They don't design the trading cards the way I would. Kutan says Urza was a mistake. Yeah. You know, you might be right. You might be right.
Still and still.
Keith Masterflex, I couldn't agree more. Everything going on in this game is lame. It's all terrible. Samwise the Stout-Hearted. I'm trying to get back on Marsh Flats.
Sure, I'll get that. Take my turn?
Before you do.
What about the Ring Bearer? Who's your Ring Bearer, Derek?
Or the end of your turn, I'll source the same one.
I'll go to 18.
Okay. Swords to Plowshares on Samwise. It's gone.
Another day.
Duress. Force, Ponder. And a Sculling Tarn.
I'll take Ponder.
There you go.
Okay, Ponder is selected. Would be really funny if the follow-up was Cabal Therapy.
Go.
Pass the turn.
Saw this top card.
Pass.
Draw. I'll take one. Docky. And
Okay, Dothy Voidwalker. It's getting forced.
Crack here.
how many cards do we have? 2, right?
I have 3 left.
3 left? Okay.
Mystic Sanctuary gets found. Maybe going to put a cantrip on top is my guess.
Yu-Gi-Oh, that's fine.
The Yu-Gi-Oh card on the board is a clue.
Draw Lorien Revealed, return, cast it.
Yep.
Ah, okay. Lorien revealed, casting it. Flooded Strand, pass the turn.
Pass it.
Draw. Grim, was it Grim Karn Pathway, the black one?
That's just makes you strong.
This one, yeah.
Just yeah.
That was the black-white pathway being played on the black side.
Sedgemoor Witch?
Sedgemoor Witch.
Cards.
I have 3.
Sedgemoor card.
My hand.
Okay.
No hand discard. Or target dogs good.
18. How about I cast Genius Smog targeting myself? Trigger for the Sedgemoor Witch?
Chain of Smog. Trigger the Magecraft on Sedgemoor Witch. Targeting himself.
So you're copying or not until after it resolves?
So that player may copy the spell. I believe it has to resolve. Yeah.
And then is part of the resolution is you deciding if you copy?
Yeah.
Okay. So this copy targeting you.
I'm targeting myself. There's a trigger for Sedgemoor Witch. So for this, it's that it's.
And this makes a pest, which is when it dies, you gain a life.
Yeah, I can show you the pest. I'm getting one because I cast a spell regardless.
Yeah.
So here's the this is the pest.
Okay. Okay. Resolve.
So it's good.
Yeah.
Okay. So trigger for this now. So then I'll discard.
Yeah.
I'm gonna copy and do it again and target myself.
Okay. Yeah. If you're making infinite pass, you got it.
I am gonna make 316 million of them to
Great.
use that. And then for the last one, then I'm gonna target you. Because then I can redirect it.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's.
Okay, so 300 million pests are on the board. Chain of Smog copied itself 300 million times on Derek's side. And the last copy is now targeting Force of Phil, who's going to discard Terminus and Portent. And we may see Terminus on the draw step.
I'll get a Sanctuary for Terminus on top.
Okay.
I'll cast a Terminus. In my draw step.
Yep. Yeah, those don't die, so they'll just hold on.
Well, that was kind of sad. Terminus just wipes away all the hard work by the Sedgemoor Witch and the Chain of Smog. Force of Phil had a way to get through 300 million pest tokens.
3.
I'll fail to find. That's me.
I don't know if Derek should have gone for that combo there with Mystic Sanctuary possible. I mean, we don't know if Derek missed that play or didn't think Phil had another Mystic Sanctuary or whatever, but all right, Fate Sealing here with Jace the Mind Sculptor, taking a look at the top card of the deck. Apparently it needs to be red. It's getting put on the bottom.
Draw. Hex Mage.
Vampire Hex Mage. That could be a way to kill Jace.
Force it, pitching a deduce.
Force pitching deduce.
Sure.
I'm going to Lamp turn.
Yep.
I'll face these.
Yep.
Thank you.
I got you. Left on top.
I'm going to predict target you.
Okay, left it on top. Now predict, targeting Derek. Gonna name Dark Confidant. Draw 2.
So, pass on like 6,
Draw.
deal 60.
Which?
So, 13. Marcast.
That's fine. Go.
And then
Fetcher.
Yeah.
13 on 2 halves.
Jace continues to tick up. Derek is hellbent. Another Mystic Sanctuary.
I'll draw a force of will.
That's fine.
Rough turn.
Yep.
Fetcher.
Force of Will was placed back on top. It will be drawn for turn. Fate Seal. Looks like the card will be placed back on top. Predict. Name Orcish Bowmaster. Goes into the trash.
Draw.
And then another 4.
Go.
Another 4. Okay. Yeah, so Flare of the
9 loyalty here for Jace. Going up to 11.
so
Go ahead.
to equal to his power.
Okay. Draw.
Or 10 loyalty, I guess? Maybe I had the numbers wrong.
I will use a Cabal Therapy. I'll sacrifice Flare.
Wait, what's that?
Earth, it goes back. It deals 1, 6, yeah.
You got it. Reanimate targeting vampire hex mage.
Reanimate targeting Hexmage. Force of Will on that.
That's fine. So we get 13.
Good.
Okay, apparently now 13 loyalty on Jace.
Well played. That was a good game.
Okay, we are going to game 2. Force of Phil takes game 1. We saw an attempt at Marit Lage combo. We saw an attempt at Chain of Smog combo. Force of Phil was able to stop both of them from winning Derek the game. Derek's deck, quite interesting. Got to be very careful playing against this deck. There's a lot of little nasty tricks in there. Here's a Ponder. The last time I played against Derek on this deck, I got Chain of Smogged twice in a match. Newt says the control player has the most extra mana base I've ever seen. Yeah. What you're feeling right now is called the Force of Phil. Here's Mishra's Bauble and Dark Confidant.
Yeah, so the hands and
Swords on Dark Confidant. That will resolve.
Turn myself off.
Yeah, that's fine.
Portent targeting himself. Portent, an interesting card.
Go.
End step, I'll practice.
Target me?
Oh, yeah, target. Enjoy triggers. You draw first in the wild.
Okay, there was a Flooded Shrine on top of the library. Thank you, Force of Phil, for showing us that. Prismatic Vista.
Go.
Web turn.
Yeah, really in the past. 2 months would actually
I have 5.
Did Derek say I have about 5?
2 or 3.
I'll respond. I'm gonna I'll fetch a squirrel. 1921. Fetch a sky. I didn't see, so.
Yeah, fetch.
Maybe we're about to see an opposition agent here. I'm not sure.
I'm gonna pitch this Ponder.
It's fine.
Sounds like an opposition agent just got countered.
Good roll my fetch.
Yep, your fetch is good.
Okay, now Force of Phil's fetch will resolve. Opposition agent countered.
I'm gonna cast Witness the Future. Yes.
That was Witness the Future. Text is up on your screen. Target player shuffles up to 4 target cards from the graveyard into the library. Look at the top 4 cards of your library. one of them in your hand, rest on the bottom in a random order.
Better than nothing.
I would really love, like, the card I really want on the print is blue-white instant. Literally, guys, plus gain 3 life.
That would actually be fine in today's game.
Totally. It would be
perfectly reasonable.
Totally reasonable.
All right, still resolving this Witness to Future. Force of Phil looking at the top 4 cards of the deck. One of them will go in hand, the rest on the bottom library in a random order.
Cards?
4. Good. I'm gonna pick 2.
Okay, that was a Godless Shrine entering untapped. Kaya, Orzhov Usurper, getting thwarted, returning all lands to hand.
Sure. That's rough. Go.
Oh, John.
Yeah.
I'm going to brainstorm a response to John.
I'll respond to the brainstorm. Put this in just in case.
Yeah, you got Bowmasters too?
I'm going to attempt a Bowmasters.
Okay, Bowmasters do it.
Okay, a Bowmaster in response to a Brainstorm. A Johnny still on the stack. A Johnny from MH3. What's it called again? A Johnny Nakatel Pariah. Anyway. The new Johnny. The new Johnny. I like these Nawat sounding names. So Johnny has made a 2/2 cat. Yeah, the Orc army should be a 4/4. I'm not sure what's going on there.
Yeah, I'll leave it.
Go.
Tab up, keep draw. Move to combat. 3, 4, 7. Same.
All right, coming in for 7. Force of Phil down to 8. The One Ring. Brainstorm in response. Uh-oh.
Maybe once we go, it's so tempest. Like even if you like got paranoid from fraud to help it out a little bit.
One card. One card right now. And this on stack.
I can just play a scam turn.
Looks like Force of Phil has a Terminus available, and it's going to go on top of the deck.
Try to get rid of control. Let's start with Eldrazi because it really has to be triggered.
Yeah, it's just like how you gonna be land multiplied? Force you to multiply if you have force.
Okay, so
So triggers. Well, one I'm actually gonna make it hit this, so it transforms this. So you're gonna go to 6. This will.
Okay, so killing his own cat with one of the Bowmaster triggers to flip a Johnny into a Planeswalker. It looks like the One Ring is going to resolve.
I'll just pass.
A Johnny Knockout Avenger now on the battlefield.
Swing for 3.
Terminus gets cast, as expected, wiping away the Bowmaster. Force of Phil down to 6. The One Ring now available for Derek. We're down to 5.
Your Johnny's ultimate is what?
Each opponent chooses an artifact, creature, an enchantment, planeswalker from among non-land permanents.
Oh, it's Cataclysm, right?
It's Cataclysm.
But
Yeah,
no, not land.
No
Not
land, so yeah.
Upon.
Oh, that's fine.
You gotta get moderate and I'm like, I'll
Go ahead.
And step, I'll activate the ring.
Yeah.
I'll draw a card.
Okay, activating the One Ring, draw a card. And losing a life. 1 bird encounter on the One Ring.
Draw for turn?
Yep.
I'll activate your ring, draw 2.
Drawing 2 with the One Ring right now.
I'm gonna 0 Johnny.
Yep.
There's a 2/2 red cat.
2/1, yeah. And if I control red permanent, then he'll deal damage even.
2/1 white cat, sorry.
Oh, yeah. So, go. Thank you.
I'll get happen.
I'll respond to Cataclysm.
Yep.
I'm gonna Cataclysm,
Yeah.
counterbalance it. I'm bugging. Hostile negotiations?
This is the
Factor fish.
Hostile negotiations in response to a counterbalance.
Yeah.
Okay, so the top pick of your library face out, the top pick of your library and another face out. Look at the cards in each pile and turn face out. Okay.
Okay, so the face-up pile has Dothi Voidwalker, a dual land of some kind, and okay, well, the other pile had Enlightened Tutor, Giver of Runes, I believe, and Sedgemoor Witch.
Has to be.
Untap up, trigger, I go to 13. I'll draw.
Yep.
2/1 white cat token on the battlefield. Gonna draw 3 here with the One Ring.
I just moved to the area, so
The One Ring can be so good. We don't see it much in Legacy these days, but it's still so good.
Move to combat.
Attacking for 2 with the cat. Versafil will drop to 3.
I'm gonna 0 to make another a cat.
Yep.
Okay, making another cat.
Mom. Trigger. Yep, that's fine.
Okay, Mother Runes reveals a brainstorm with counterbalance.
Just 1 black. Dothi.
Dothi Voidwalker.
Crack, LED. I'll brainstorm with the counterbalance trigger on stack.
That is fine.
Brainstorm with the counterbalance trigger on the stack. We'll see if Phil can put a 2 on top, counter Dothi Voidwalker.
Was it holding priority? Like
Yeah, no. It's fine.
what's the turn 1, dude?
Deduce revealed, Voidwalker countered.
Yeah.
I'm going to flashback.
I'm gonna attempt a surgical extraction terminus.
No, we understand.
2.
This one.
Surgical extraction on Terminus, fetching in response. Gonna try and save it here with a Mystic Sanctuary, I guess.
Mystic Sanctuary, put terminus on top.
That's fine.
Okay, Mystic Sanctuary will put the Terminus on top, countering Surgical Extraction. Good play here by Phil. Silent Clearing is the land drop.
Go. Yeah, right.
Terminus will wipe away the cats.
Where's the terminus?
This good.
Portent target myself. That will resolve. Where's the advantage bar right now, chat? Is it to the left or the right? have over 3,000 channel points on the line for this match. The prediction polls.
Yeah. I'll go to 10.
These bird encounters on the One Ring could come back to eventually lose Derek this game. Have to be careful. Duress, Lorien revealed by counterbalance. So it looks like Duress is going to resolve. Possibly.
I have full grip 7.
Full grip for Derek. 7 cards in hand.
Brainstorm's fine.
Brainstorm in response to Duress. The hand is revealed. Lorien revealed. Deduce Force of Will and a Polluted Delta.
Force of Will. I'm going to draw 4 cards.
Drawing 4 cards with the One Ring.
Turok kicked.
Turok, Dread Canter, kicked.
You can keep this one.
Okay, Deduce and Polluted Delta are discarded. The other card in hand was Lorien revealed. Making a cat with a Johnny. And what else do we got?
Sure.
Okay, Island Cycling Lorien revealed. Getting a Mystic Sanctuary. Sawatari, thank you for the raid. Welcome, everybody. We're here watching some Paper Legacy. Derek will discard 2 cards to hand size. Not sure what card was put on top. Oh, Mystic Sanctuary didn't get played yet. Sorry. Here's a Ponder. Yeah, Phil is at 3 life right now. Mystic Sanctuary, putting Terminus on top.
Tap up, keep trigger, I'll go 6. Draw for turn? Yep.
Yeah, great catch by the chat. The cycling of Lorien revealed should have gave Dread Canter a counter. Turok's ability.
Yeah.
Deduce.
Here's Deduce to try and Terminus. Make a clue. Caracas to save Turok.
Same name phase, I'll make a
I'm hellbent.
Force of Will is Hellbent. Make a cat, 2/1 white cat with a Johnny Turok. Counterbalance revealed, it is countered. 4 counters on the One Ring. Counterbalance is on top of Phil's library. Phil at 3. If Derek plays this right, he wins this game. Could plus Johnny on the next turn. There is a clue on the board, though, which could draw Force of Will a card and potentially answer something, but... Oh, it's going to be so tight with the One Ring, though. This is tight. Children's Edict in the yard. Do we crack a clue now, or do we hope for a miracle on top of the deck?
Yeah. Sure.
Okay, Mystic Sanctuary put Terminus on top. Counterbalance. Okay. Pass the turn. I think Derek has this one.
Draw for turn.
Van Gogh guy, both plays Van
Nothing,
Gogh.
or card for lead.
It's a 2-1, isn't it?
I think you're two. You used to fetch.
Okay, I thought it was a
Yeah. It was a 2-1, yeah.
Okay, looks like Derek is taking game 2. We're going to game 3. Players drawing up hands here for game 3. Force of Fill will be on the play. Mystic Sanctuary pass.
I'll go to 19.
That is a silent clearing. Giver of Runes. Snow-covered swamp from Ice Age. Very nice.
I'm gonna go 17. Docking.
Okay, counterbalance reveals counterbalance. Counter the Dauthi Voidwalker. Attack with Giver of Runes.
Play Frog.
Go ahead.
Draw. I'm gonna go to 16. Recruiter.
Recruiter of the Guard. Portent revealed on top. Force pitching counterbalance. Recruiter is countered.
Go for it.
Both of these players keep their deck lists posted in our Discord server. If you're interested in the Tainted Pact Dead Guy list, it's posted in there. As we Concealed Courtyard. Attack with Giver of Runes. Yu-Gi-Oh card on the battlefield right now is a clue.
Tap.
Terminus wipes away the Giver Runes. It's gone.
Oh, you hurt yourself, kid.
Turok kicked.
Turok Dread Canner kicked.
15.
Force pitching Ponder to counter Turok.
Yeah, terminus.
Predict. Name Terminus. Terminus in the trash. Flooded Strand.
I took 2 on that one.
You're at 12.
Yeah. This is Fortress.
Yep.
Go. That's fine.
These ones.
The land just played by Derek was Restless Fortress, white-black manland from Wilds of Eldraine.
Want to hit your...
15 and 1 color.
Good.
That was Witness the Future. Here's a Tainted Pact on end step. Counterbalance trigger, fetching with Flooded Strand. These Mystic Sanctuary tricks continue.
Response. Masters.
Okay, Brainstorm after Deduce selected with Mystic Sanctuary. I believe Bowmaster was cast. Brainstorm in response to that.
No, I'm not running
Bowmaster's in.
Yeah, take one.
3.
Well, does the Mystic Sanctuary for Deduce resolve?
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
I'll reveal the counterbalance.
That's fine.
Yes.
Okay, Bowmaster was in. Didn't find a 2 for that. But Tainted Pact was countered by putting Deduce back on top of the library. Attacking with Bowmaster and an Orc army. Phil drops to 11.
She's also good in
Kaya?
Kaya Orzhov Usurper. This can start cleaning out the graveyard.
I'm gonna -1. I'm gonna get rid of your token.
Okay, it minus its first turn on the battlefield to remove Phil's clue token.
I'm gonna exile your turn. This is
We ended with
into combat?
Yeah.
Just
When was the last time you played Dredge?
yeah. Trigger.
Okay, we're moving very quickly right now. A Terminus happening. Bowmaster did get a ping in, but it's placed on the bottom of the library now. Kaya continues to exist on the battlefield, though. Kaya's ultimate could potentially become relevant in this game. But I think the players are feeling like they're running out of time. Mystic Sanctuary, on the clock, that is. Mystic Sanctuary. Okay, I just heard time call. This is turn 0.
Cool. So this is turn 0. Yeah. Kraken step.
Is it possible at this point for either player to win this game? I mean, we know Derek has combos. And Phil does not. So that's 1 point for Derek's favor to win this game. We know Phil runs Entreat the Angels, but we're already like, we don't have double white, and there's just a lot working against that right now. This is turn 1 of extra turns. The Manland can win in 2 turns. That's true. Okay, Kyle will plus. I don't think Kaya's going to be the way to win. Well, Kaya, yeah, actually Kaya's getting close. It's at 4 loyalty. This is turn 1 of extra turns. This is going to be tight. I think it's more likely Derek wins this game, though. Looks like the Restless Fortress is getting activated here.
Combat. For trigger for you to lose 2 and gain 2, and then we take 1. So you go to 4 and I'll go to 17. I'll pass.
The Yu-Gi-Oh card on Phil's side is a clue. This is turn 2 of extra turns, Brainstorm.
I'm gonna turn Kaya into a 1/1.
One, and then
During a turn, target on
Okay, I'm not sure what this card is called, but apparently it turns Kaya into a 1/1. Let's see if I could find it. It is called... I believe it's from Strixhaven. Mercurial Transformation was that card. I'm going to get the text up on the screen now. Restless Fortress will come alive again.
Yeah.
Go to 3. I'm gonna get a Tundra and Sorcerer.
Oh, nice.
I'm at 3.
I'm at 19 because I gained a life from send me the Staff of the Storyteller.
Staff of the Storyteller, counter by counterbalance, revealing counterbalance. This is turn 4 of extra turns now. Lorien revealed. Doesn't look likely that Phil will win this game, but Phil's at 3 life.
Draw?
Looks like there's a Chain of Smog in Derek's hand. It ends in a draw. It ends in a draw. GG's. A good match. Well played. And it ends in a draw. Good games. Yep, that was a draw. Yeah, one person did predict a draw. That was Satel. I think it was one person. Okay, let's set up a poll for the Twitch chat. Which match next? Your options will be Maverick versus Grixis Delver, or Miracles versus Grixis Delver, or Lands versus Dimir Tempo, or Esper Control versus Reanimator, or Death and Taxes versus Dimir Tempo. 2 minutes to vote. Get your votes in. Yeah, I believe the Dead Guy L deck is posted in our Discord server. Okay. People are painting. Very interesting. Poll happening now in the chat. Get your votes in for which match we'll watch next. I'm going to vote in this one. What do I want to watch? I want to watch... I don't even know. Okay, I voted. I voted. About a minute left to vote. Our Discord is up on your screen. Join the Discord if you're not yet in our Discord server. We do have a Patreon and a merch shop for those of you that are interested in taking this relationship a step further. People are trying to rig this poll. I see some rigging going on. People don't like being fair. About 30 seconds left. How much are people going to invest in this poll, I wonder? It's pretty close. Almost out of time. The result will be in shortly. Ooh, this is close. Okay, Akalith contributed 800 channel points. Maverick versus Grixis is up next. Let's do it. Let's do it. Diving in.
Yeah, Ball Strict Swords. Okay, good choice.
You just keep.
Alright, you're on the play, right?
Yep, Mama, play. Good luck.
Good luck.
Either your Mox or your Mox Amber, legend rolling them, and she keeps untapping because the legendary keeps coming in. So she untaps.
All right, on the left side of your screen is myself with Maverick, and on the right we have Roland MTG, the foil bug, with Grixis Delver. I have taken a mulligan.
Oh, no, it's all good. Oh, we're good. You know, 4-droppers.
What does a Sliver Queen playmat tell you about your opponent's deck choice? You sit down in front of your opponent, and they have a Sliver Queen playmat. What are they on? Does anybody know?
I only played it online. I never played it in person. It was like, so I did an Izzet one, then I also did a mono blue one. I'll probably show you the
Okay, going to 5. Classy individual. Possibly.
Like the blue version that I was trying to do. And one. Oh, yeah. And I was like, maybe there's like a blue-black version that I can do with Entombs.
No, I already know.
Keith Master Flex, absolutely correct. I think they have some hot takes on Universes Beyond. Yeah, that's probably the case with a Sliver Queen playmat, I would say. Remember when Magic was good, chat? All right, we're underway here. Roland has fired off a Ponder to start the game.
I feel like even when I win, I feel bad for the other person because I'm like the match we play, I'm like, okay, we're gonna cycle through everything, waste time. I'm just playing all.
Yep.
The game looks more like it's
Cow Panda asking for unbanned top. Oh, God. Once upon a time. That'll resolve. Great way to start a game. Looks like my hand is Swords to Plowshares, Noble Hierarch, White of the Reliquary. Didn't see what else was in there. Maybe an Abrupt Decay? Abrupt Decay, not too bad right now. Kills Psychic Frog. All right, cracking a Windswept Heath. Snow Forest, Noble Hierarch.
Hierarch's good. Here we go.
So Noble Hierarch resolves. Does Roland have a bolt for the bird? My Maverick list, if that interests you, is posted in our Discord server. Psychic Frog, okay. And there it is, Abrupt Decay. And attacking with Noble Hierarch. Psychic Frog down.
Here that goes severely.
Cards. 3.
Main deck crown seal.
Amazing.
Main
I
deck.
thought you had them.
Okay, wasting me, and then Unholy Heat on my Noble Hierarch.
Last time I saw Anu stream it, was like, so
I
many
don't.
crown seals.
I'm gonna say this on camera. I don't get my deck making decisions from his decks.
Go. Audrey hoping to see the Rad Stag. Yeah, I don't know if the Legacy people over on YouTube are ready for Watchful Rad Stag yet, Audrey. So maybe let's calm down. I only had like 9 copies in play on Monday in another match I played. What's Watchful Rad Stag? People are finding out the hard way, right, Audrey?
I'll choose destroy this, deal 1 to this.
Murktide Regent. Murktide's in. 6/6. So 6/6 Murktide, fetching with Vertic Catacombs now. Force pitching force. Swords is countered. Waste on my Savannah, which I expected.
16 foot draw. No land, pass.
Attacking for 6, going down to 12. Dragon's Rage Channeler.
Go.
I am gonna want.
Brainstorm Surveil on end step. No Delirium yet, I don't think. Instant land creature.
Like, yeah, that.
Haven't been able to make a land drop. Can't quite see what's in my hand right now. I think the White of the Reliquary is still in there. Dahlia, maybe?
No delirium, right?
No delirium.
I'll go to 5.
Yeah, you can.
All right, Psychic Frog gets the scoop. Roland gets game 1. Multi 5. Some Wastelands. Key. Unholy Heat on Noble Hierarch. I ran out of ammo pretty quickly. Roberts with a great question. What inspired the transition to Maverick? With the release of MH3, I wanted to try a different deck. And I had a couple of cards from the Fallout set sitting on my desk for a while. Just kind of collecting dust, and it felt like it was time. Cracking Windswept Heath. Birds of Paradise on turn 1. M. Cook, thank you for the sub with Prime. 10 months. Appreciate that. The lighting coming in is crazy right now. It's like that weird time of day. Sun's starting to go down, I guess. So Birds of Paradise on the board. And are we going to bolt the bird here? Unholy Heat. Birds of Paradise down.
There's a lot of.
Pass turn.
Okay, Wasteland takes out Roland's Volcanic Island. No land drop for Roland, okay. Flagstone, Stalia. Dahlia's getting forced. Pitching Brainstorm. That would have been a pretty good Dahlia there.
After you draw it. Surgical Dahlia.
Okay, after my draw step, Surgical on Dahlia. My hand has revealed Snow Plains, Bajuka Bog, Choke, Endurance.
It's 3 total Dahlias.
Roland seeing the watchful Radstag for the first time. Helios 1 getting looked at.
Not sound like a breeder.
Hey, day night. Gotcha.
Yeah, then I got.
I can't play the normal decks, Chad. I gotta be doing something else, you know.
Let's see.
All right, Dahlia is exiled. 3 copies gone. I only have 3.
I'll cast Choke. That's the turn I'm just gonna do.
Choke is on the stack. It resolves. Roland's gonna scoop it up. Going game 3. All right, you're on play. Good luck.
Yep, do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Roland will be on the play for game 3. Got wasted out of game 2. Volcanic Island and Dragon's Rage Channeler. Mishra's Bauble, Surveil.
Vexing Bubble?
I assume it's like you didn't find a proposition for your own
Vegas?
You have. Cool. I'll draw to your keep.
Burning Catacombs getting cracked. Birds of Paradise once again.
There's too many goblins. Now I got Ultra, okay, I tap on, Bobble there, pass. Amazing, okay.
Okay, Birds of Paradise getting dazed. Surveil. Snow Forest was fetched up. Polluted Delta dumped into the yard. I believe there are now 3 types in Roland's yard. Almost have Delirium.
Did you return again? A Volk?
Sorry?
You returned a Volk?
I returned a Volk back to my hand.
Yeah, duh, it was a Volk. He cast Dragon's Rage Channeler. What are you, an idiot? You idiot. Don't be so hard on yourself. That's the inner dialogue. All right, another Mishra's Bauble. Delver of Secrets, okay. Attacking for 1.
And let's see. Yep.
Okay, looking for a Snow Plains in Guardian of Thraben. Mishra's Bauble's going to get cracked here. Taking a look at the top of his own library here to try to flip this Delver. Let's see if the stack allow. Okay, drawing the card that was seen and found a Bolt. Not too bad. Insect Elaboration has been placed online.
Yep.
Lightning Bolt takes out Dahlia. Surveil. Bowlmaster into the graveyard. I believe Delirium is now on. 6.
Like, yeah. Swords.
Swords takes out Dragon's Rage Channeler. Roland will gain 3. Nurturing Peatland is the land drop.
That's okay. On your upkeep. Yes, sorry. Before upkeep, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I like these Jubilee Snow Basics.
Oh no, it's artifact. You're right. Damn it. I didn't see that. Yeah, I know. It's so stupid. The one time that's relevant. Shit.
All right, and an Abrupt Decay takes out Insect Elaboration, so I managed to clear the board of creatures now. Waste on Nurturing Peatland. I'm cut off of black for the moment. Dragon's Rage Channeler. Delirium is on still.
Two cards now. 2 cards.
2 cards in Roland's hand. Green Sun X is 1. It will be Elvish Reclaimer, one of the key cards in this deck.
Second here.
Combat. Wait. Oh, sorry. No. She's currently at 2. Oh, yeah, so yeah.
Okay, keep dropping some threats. Delver's Secrets. Draw for turn. Looks like I drew a Bayou.
I'll pass.
You don't know the top of the deck.
There is the possibility of finding Bajuka Bog here to shut off Delirium, but I don't have a blocker. Does Roland know the top of the deck right now? I can't remember. I don't think so. But if Delver flips, if there's a bolt, I could be in trouble.
-1, so only this.
Oh, that's true.
Force of Will revealed, Instinct Elaboration.
Yeah, let me think on draw step.
Second man, I'll cast a Welder. Yep, I'll pass him. One step, drop.
Okay, sacking Bayou. I think I said on draw step. Is that what I said? Didn't quite catch that. All right, Bajuka Bog. We'll exile Roland's graveyard now. I'm a little unsure of the timing here. I don't... Yeah, I'm not sure.
Waste the
Okay, Wasteland on the Bajuka Bog. Take my turn. Yeah, I don't know. The timing for activating Reclaimer was probably wrong. Reclaimer was not summoning sick.
Then I'll pass that. Swing it to him, yeah. I'll pass.
Yes. All right, good games. Grist, Knight of the Reliquary, Watchful Radstag, Talia stuck in hand. Roland gets it. Too many 3-power flyers. This game is circling the drain, as all of you know. The time for Lorcana has come, and I'm selling my collection. GG's. GG's. Roland beat me, everybody. Is that fair? It's my frickin' show. I don't think that's fair. I don't know. Okay. Stick around for a raid, everybody. Stick around for a raid. You'll get some channel points for raiding with me. It's possible we'll do another stream this week. I'm not sure yet. Keep an eye on the Discord if that's something you care about. Either way, I'll see everybody soon. Peace out.